Must win Game 2 of the Cape Cod League Championship Series. Comes to you here from White House Field in Harwich. The Bourne Braves trying to avenge last night's loss for a 5:30 first pitch. Welcome into pregame Tomahawk Talk. I'm Adam Gotkin alongside Nathan Schwartz and Cam Manna. And Nathan, last night's loss, a rough one overall for the Bravos. A lot of mistakes that we really haven't seen since the beginning of the season.
A lot of mistakes, a lot of coming out flat. And there just was that missing energy both in the dugout and from the fan base because nothing was happening in the beginning of that game. But now Bourne is in a spot that they're familiar in. They're 3-0 in elimination games this summer, 9-1 in the last 4 years. So if there's any team that would want their backs up against the wall, it's Bourne.
And the Bravos will go with Tristan Levesque on the mound, a guy who has not started yet this summer. But Cam, last season he started in the biggest game of the year against Orleans in the playoffs.
And if there's any pitcher that you want, it's Tristan Levesque. This is his third playoff appearance against the Braves going back to last year. He was relied on in an elimination game at Orleans in front of 8,000 fans, and he delivered for the Braves. It'll be his second appearance here for Bourne, but was in with the Mystic squad in the NECBL and had a 1.84 ERA. So a fantastic summer for him. He's ready for the moment, brings a lot of energy, and in big games like this, you want dogs on the mound, and Tristan Levesque's a dog.
So the Bravos hoping that Levesque can have a big outing today, and also Bourne looking for some players in the lineup to really step up today as well.
I think the big one to look out for is Chris Stanfield, moves up from that 9 spot to the 5th spot in the order. When he won the Cape League Player of the Week a couple of weeks ago, it was when he was in that 5th spot, and that seems like where he seems most comfortable right now in this batting order. And then you have Tristan Massettet, Blake Barthel at the 8-9 spot. Those are two guys that could be hitting 4-5 in this order, but they're down in the bottom 2, and they could do a great job of flipping this lineup order.
And remember, Stanfield hit that big home run at Hyannis in the playing game. He's been playing pretty well recently, so we'll see what he can do moving up in the order. Well, pregame Tomahawk Talk rolls on. First pitch coming up soon at 5:30. Adam Gotkin now joined by Tristan Massettet out of Clemson on pregame Tomahawk Talk ahead of Bourne taking on Harwich. Tristan, you guys lost last night in a tough one. How do you guys try and bounce back, rebound here for game 2?
We just pretty much try and stay to what's been making us successful, the last 10 games or so. Just sticking to our process, trying to play clean baseball, good pitching, fundamental defense, and get timely hits.
That, of course, all sounds like kind of easy stuff, but it's not easy in the actual moment. What do you guys try and do in the dugout to try and make sure that everything, once you get on the field, is easiest as possible?
I think just staying on our own teammates is a big thing, keeping everybody encouraged and just, working towards that one goal and winning.
I know you're one of the guys who joined this team a little bit later, but when you're in the dugout, when you're with so many guys who have been here throughout the entire season, how do you think that's kind of helped the chemistry to this point in the year?
I think that just summer ball is a great time to meet new guys from around the country, and I feel like this team's got pretty good chemistry and, a lot of guys with different personalities, but all good, and they all mesh well. So I think this team likes to have fun, and I think that's a big reason why we've gotten this far.
What's this series been like so far? I know this is only game 2, but last night with the crowd at Dorn Park here, we're still an hour until the game starts, and there's a bunch of people here. Just this Cape League Championship Series environment, what's it been like?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, especially for a summer league to be packed out like this. I know it means a lot to the locals, and but I think, we're all pretty used to it, and it's fun that we get to play in an environment that's competitive and important to a lot of people.
All right, well, thank you very much, Tristan. Adam Gotkin here with Sean Brennan on pregame Tomahawk Talk ahead of Bourne taking on Harwich in Game 2 of the Cape League Championship Series. Sean, today Harwich goes with a guy out of Kansas State and Andrew Evans on the mound, who has had a lot of struggles so far this season.
Yeah, in 8 games, 3 starts, 23 innings, he has a 6.65 ERA. Now, his strikeouts to walk is pretty good, 20-8, so not issues with control, but he does get hit kind of hard. So in his last outing on the 3rd, he was tagged for 9 hits in about 4 innings against Chatham. So this is an opportunity for Bourne, who was hitting it well yesterday but couldn't quite convert with runners in scoring position, to get on top of him early and really assert themselves when they need to.
You said it there, Bourne had struggles hitting with runners in scoring position yesterday for Harwich. That was also the case, but they got enough done and they scored enough runs where it didn't even really matter.
Right, they went 4 for 13 overall, but they got it done when it mattered in that 5th inning. They scored 5 runs on 5 hits, tagged Cameron Paget there. He stayed in the game, but that's still, when you're looking at the vibes in the field, it definitely made that game feel like it was out of reach. So, we'll see what they can do today, but Bourne definitely has to figure out their struggles with runners in scoring position, and Harwich, they also might struggle, but they make it matter when it matters most.
And at this point, we got to remember that this is a Mariners squad that has now won 4 playoff games in a row. So while they may have had a couple very long losing streaks during the season and barely sneaked into the playoffs, it's a team that you cannot at all take lightly right now.
No, and we had a very similar conversation yesterday, but it's even more true now, right? They come into Dorn Park. It was a packed house. The vibes were high, and they just won from the get-go. You could tell they were going to win that game from the first inning on. Not saying Bourne took Harwich lightly, but now everybody knows Harwich is here. They haven't lost in the playoffs. They swept the #1 team in the league, so they're here. Them winning is a very real possibility, and Bourne's going to have to bring their A game.
Well, first pitch coming up at 5:30. Win or go home for the Bravos. You don't want to go in.
Batting second, the shortstop from Wake Forest, number 10, Merrick Houston. Batting third, the third baseman from Vanderbilt, number 34, Braden Holcomb. Batting fourth, the catcher from Oregon, number 13, Chase Meggers. Batting fifth, the center fielder, Chris Stanfield. Batting sixth, the first baseman from Virginia Tech, number 44, David Lewis. Batting seventh, the DH from Virginia Tech, number 19, Garrett Michelle. Batting eighth, the left fielder from Clemson, number 32, Tristan Pacetta. Batting ninth, the second baseman from Coastal Carolina, number 21, Blake Barthol. Starting pitcher for Bourne, from Rhode Island, number 4, Tristan Levesque.
It's not that top button, is it?
One, two.
The Bravos have their backs against the wall for the 4th time this postseason. The first 3 went Bourne's way, but tonight the stakes are even greater. It's Game 2 of the Cape League Championship Series between Bourne and Harwich. Thanks so much for joining us on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Alongside Cam Manna, I'm Nathan Schwartz from White House Field, the home of the Harwich Mariners, the team that took Game 1 of this title series yesterday at Dorn Park by a score of 7-3. It was all Harwich all game long. They came ready to play, and they dominated.
And they came out swinging early and on both sides of the baseball. This Harwich team wanted it from the get-go. At 7:02, that game was pretty much over for what the Mariners brought to the table, but the biggest thing here in playoff baseball, especially an elimination game where the Braves have been phenomenal. You date back to 2021, this team is 9-2 in elimination games in postseason play. You have to want it more. You have to play your best baseball and come out with energy early. The Braves were flat-footed, but we saw it here today during batting practice. There was a new life for Bourne, understanding their season coming down to this, and I think they woke up a little bit after last night.
They've been playing better when their backs are against the wall, when the stakes are higher. They've been playing their best baseball. And Cam, you're right, 9-1 in elimination games since 2021, 3-0 in this postseason. But in Game 2s specifically, in the last 3 years, 1-2. That one win was 2022, the first year of this potential three-peat.
And that also makes sense, too, because these are some of, if you get into the Cape League playoffs, you're one of the 8 teams that gets in, especially here, the final 2 teams standing. It's why this is a 3-game series. These are 2 of the best teams in the best college baseball league in America. It's a 3-game set for a reason. Hey, Bourne loses Game 1. They lose Game 1 against the Cats as well. There's 2 more games left to be played here. Harwich needs 27 outs. The Bourne Braves looking to send this back home tomorrow.
And for this Bourne lineup, a couple of different changes. Chris Stanfield goes from the 9 spot to the 5 spot. David Lewis and Garrett Michelle both in this lineup. Tristan Pacetta and Blake Barthol, the 8-9. This is probably the most balanced lineup we've seen all postseason.
And the reason it's so balanced is because you have Pacetta and Barthol batting 8-9. Pacetta's your home run leader at the 8 spot in this order. Barthol's been seeing the baseball a lot better, had a double in Game 3 against the Cavaliers. Stanfield bumps up in the 5 spot. We'll talk about it. His Player of the Week performance, you go back into the middle of July, Stanfield was the 5 hitter, And your first 4 hitters right here, you can't ask for a better start. Conrad's leadoff ability, Houston and Holcomb, and Chase Meggers last time he played had a solo blast. Bourne's bringing their best guys, their best 9 to the table when it matters most.
And Bourne fans, you might be having some deja vu when I say this name in just a moment. The starter for Bourne today in a must-win game in the Cape League Championship Series, Tristan Levesque out of Rhode Island, who started Game 3 in last year's Championship Series for Bourne, now gets the start in Game 2.
And what a 2024 it's been for Tristan Levesque. He has a season-ending injury at URI, bounces back, goes to Mystic in the NECBL, 7 starts, a 1.84 ERA. Now he's back here with the Braves. Scott Landers saw that he's ready to go post-injury, and this is his 3rd playoff appearance in 2 summers. There is no pitcher on the Bourne roster that's more experienced in Cape League Championship baseball than Tristan Levesque. He got the ball in a bigger moment. 8,000 people in Game 3 last year. White House Field still packed up, but Levesque understands this moment. He's ready for the call, locked in with his earbuds in earlier at the edge of the dugout, and the lefty is the right guy you want, the dog in the mound in a moment like this.
It's simple. With a Bourne win, Game 3 tomorrow at Dorn Park. A Bourne loss, and the 2024 season comes to an end. 27 outs on either side to decide, will it be Bourne forcing Game 3, or will Harwich claim their first title in 13 years? First pitch of Game 2 between the Bravos and the Mariners coming up in about 5 minutes here from White House Field.
Number 39, Michael Anderson. Batting 9th, the 3rd baseman from Miami, number 8, Jake Ogden. The starting pitcher for Harwich from Kansas State, number 25, Andrew Evans. At this time, we ask that you please rise if you are able and remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem, sung tonight by Boston sports personality Scott Wally.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Harwich Mariners, the Bourne Braves, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA for good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments or other intimidating actions directed at student athletes, coaches, or officials will not be tolerated.
It's Game 2 of the Cape League Championship Series, and Bourne has its backs against the wall. They need to win tonight in order to force a Game 3 back at Dorn Park tomorrow night. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Alongside Cam Manna, I'm Nathan Schwartz. Thanks for spending your Sunday evening with us here from White House Field. And this Bourne team, Cam, looking to get a 3-peat, but they've got to win 2 in a row, and it starts right here on the road.
And I think the loss last night woke this team up. There was a different atmosphere, a different want factor coming in here during batting practice. A lot of different guys. We talked to Chris Stanfield and Garrett Michelle as well, saying this is not going to end here tonight. We're bringing this back to Dorn Park, and that's the energy you need. That's the first step before first pitch.
And for this Bourne lineup, we talked about it a couple of minutes ago, but looks a little bit different than what we've seen the last couple of days. It starts out the same with Conrad, Houston, and Holcomb 1, 2, 3. Then it's Meggers, Stanfield, Lewis in the middle at 4, 5, and 6, with Garrett Michelle back in the lineup as the DH batting 7th, Tristan Becerra batting 8th and playing left field, and Blake Barthel, the second baseman, batting 9th.
And this is a balanced lineup right here. And you look at a lineup in thirds. Conrad, Houston, and Holcomb, they bring a lot of reliability. The middle of that order, we've seen the power from Stanfield and Meggers here in the playoffs. And what Michelle did last night, 3 for 5. Tristan Becerra and Blake Barthel on a lot of different teams. Those two guys can be in your top third of the order. They're your 8-9 hitters. That's a balance right there that Scott Landers probably brought out and cooked out the best lineup here tonight.
Very balanced, very deep. And they're going to face the junior right-hander out of Kansas State, and Andrew Evans, who made 8 appearances during the regular season, a 6.65 ERA in 23 innings. Now he gets his first chance in the postseason in the most important game for Harwich since 2019.
And he throws strikes, 20 strikeouts to 8 walks this summer. That's the biggest thing you want to see here. Command the zone and let the Bourne Braves hitters beat you. We'll talk about their struggles on the base last night.
Ethan Conrad digging into the left box, the leadoff man for Bourne in Game 2. He's been the leadoff man in the entire postseason. Andrew Evans comes set, glove at his chin. And the first pitch of Game 2, it's a hanging curveball. Conrad lets it go by. It's a called strike to begin. Underway at 5:31 p.m. Eastern here from White House Field. A 1 fastball from Evans, fouled away by Conrad. Quickly 0-2. Conrad, a .304 hitter in this postseason. 3 doubles and an RBI. Coming off a 1-for-4 night in Game 1. Evans deals the 0-2. Conrad goes the other way, but it's right on a line to Aiden Robbins in left field for out number 1 as we take a look at the Harwich defense. It's Robbins in left, Aiden Hill in center, Cam Maldonado in right, Jake Ogden and Danny Dickinson at third and short, Cade Kurland at second, Matt Scannell at first, and Wilson Weber back behind the plate for a second consecutive night in the Cape League Championship Series. Evans deals the first pitch to the number 2 hitter. It's Merrick Houston, and it's upstairs for ball 1.
And on that line out there from Conrad, it looked like Robbins in left field. There was a shift. He was very in on that line drive.
1-0. Fastball called a strike on the inside corner at 91. And you're right, Cam. Robbins playing shallow against Conrad, hitting from the left side. Harwich shifted a lot against Bourne hitters yesterday. 1-1 pitch to Houston. Evans tries to go back to that same spot. Fastball inside. This time he misses. Make the count 2-1 in favor of Houston, who did reach base yesterday for the 20th straight game. 2-1. He lets that slider go by. There is an appeal down to first base. Carmen Parati, the first base umpire tonight, says Houston did not go around. Make the count 3 balls and a strike to the Demon Deacon shortstop. Evans kicks and deals the 3-1. Houston skies it to straightaway center field. Aiden Hill, the Terp. He's got it for out number 2. Fly ball to left, fly ball to center to begin for Bourne.
And every game outside of last night, the Braves got their leadoff guy on in Conrad, but it was a 2-out single yesterday in the first for Holcomb. The Braves have done so much better in the first inning going into the playoffs, but so far against Harwich, they've been silent in this top half.
Now Braden Holcomb had a breakout game yesterday. His first multi-hit game of the postseason. His second, third, and fourth hits of this postseason. And the first pitch he sees in Game 2, a breaking ball at the top of the zone for a strike. 3 for 5 was Holcomb yesterday in the loss. An RBI double to right center. Evans working quickly and efficiently in top 1. Holcomb right up the middle. That's a laser, and it falls in front of Hill for the game's first base hit. What a laser off the bat of Braden Holcomb, and it gives Bourne a 2-out base runner.
103 miles per hour up the middle, and you're seeing from Evans so far. He goes curveball, first pitch in the off-speed, comes back with a fastball upstairs. Did it to Conrad, did it to Holcomb and Houston. Holcomb as the third hitter saw it coming, and he laced it.
Holcomb yesterday, coming into the game, only had 1 hit in 4 postseason games. Now has 4 hits in this championship series. Here comes Chase Meggers with the runner on and 2 away. There is that first pitch curveball, misses way up. Meggers did not get the start in Game 1 yesterday. Didn't appear either. 4 for 12 in the postseason with a home run at Katuitt. Evans sets at the belt. His 1-0. There goes the bat. It's all the way to the on-deck circle. Stanfield's able to get out of the way, and it's a foul ball.
And a smile there from Chase Meggers saying, my bad to Stanfield. Just flies out of the lefty's batter's box. Chris gets out of the way. And a big swing there from Meggers. We've seen the bat fly out of so many players' hands this summer, and it happens again.
It's happened a lot to Meggers and Neville, the two Oregon guys for this Bourne team. But now the count 1-1 with 2 away in top 1. Andrew Evans, the starter, kicks and deals. His 1-1 fastball clips the outside corner, make it 1-2. And that fastball, nothing overpowering for Evans, 89-92. Evans stands 6'5", 235, the rising junior out of Kansas State. His 1-2 to Meggers, nearly to the backstop. Wilson Weber, the catcher, able to come out of his crouch, make sure he gets that ball over his head as the count evens. Holcomb at first base is a threat to go, but Bourne's been much more cautious on the bases this postseason. 2-2 to Meggers, hit sharply on the ground but foul down the first base side.
And what Harwich did so well last night was the stolen bases. You get a couple from Danny Dickinson in the second inning for him to score a run, a team that loves to move just like Bourne.
2 of the top 3 teams in the regular season in terms of stolen bases. Evans working out of the stretch. Now his first pickoff move of the day over to first base. Matt Scannell, the first baseman for Harwich, not applying a tag against Holcomb. Holcomb with 7 stolen bases in the regular season. None here in the postseason. Evans with his 2-2. Meggers ropes it to right center field. This one's going to get down in the gap. Holcomb's on his horse. He gets the wave around third. Here he comes home. The relay throw by Harwich will not be in time. Chase Meggers all the way to third. A 2-out RBI triple for Bourne's backstop. Gives the Bravos an early 1-0 lead.
And maybe one of the hardest hit balls of the whole entire summer from Chase Meggers. That one straight to the wall in right field. And the speed from Meggers, the big turn at first base, he thought third the whole entire way, did not slow down. Holcomb going from first to third, and the swing the Braves needed. For them to strike first for the first time in this championship series is crucial.
Bourne coming in the last 13 games with 30 2-out RBIs. They had 2 yesterday, both in that 6th inning from Holcomb and Michelle. Now Stanfield with a runner on third and 2 away. He cuts through the first pitch fastball. Stanfield's been one of Bourne's better hitters this postseason. 5 for 15, a home run, and 5 RBIs. Another RBI chance for him here with Meggers at third base. The 0-1 with 2 away. Up and in. Oh my, that was real close to hitting Stanfield. Either on the hands or in the face area. Luckily, he's able to get out of the way as the count evens at a ball and a strike. Situation remains the same for Bourne. Runner on third, 2 away. 1-1, another fastball, another swing and a miss by Stanfield. Stanfield back in this 5 spot. That's where he was in the order when he won the Cape League Player of the Week in the 2nd week of July. Evans, his 1-2 pitch. Stanfield lays off the off-speed. The count evens once again, this time at 2s. Harwich coming into this Game 2 red hot. They haven't lost in the postseason. They've won 5 in a row dating back to the end of the regular season. 2-2 to Stanfield. And that's going to be the first strikeout of the ball game for Harwich's starter, Andrew Evans. But it comes right after Chase Meggers gives Bourne an early lead, an RBI triple to the right center field gap, and the Bravos take a 1-0 advantage to bottom 1 in Game 2 of the Cape League Championship Series. Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at 590A MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story.
I'm Chris Stanfield, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Marty Chevrolet is your dealer for the people and proudly supports Bourne Braves baseball. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves.
bottom one of Game 2 in the Cape League Championship Series, and it's the Bravos with an early 1-0 lead after Chase Meggers hits a line drive 99 miles per hour into the right center field gap.
And it was much needed for the Braves. 2 outs right there. You have Holcomb with the single. Bourne doing so much better with 2 outs. We also said it coming into this game. The Braves are 8 for their last 41 with runners in scoring position in these last 4. And Chase Meggers changes that with 1 swing, and the Braves striking first. It's what they do best.
And now Tristan Levesque getting the ball for Bourne once again for the second year in a row in the Cape League Championship Series. Last year it was Game 3 on the road at Eldridge Park in Orleans. Here in 2024, it's Game 2 on the road against Harwich.
And at Game 3, packed house, 8,000 fans, packed here once again at White House Field. Levesque did not let that moment fluster his ability to pitch well, and we'll see if that stays true once again.
This will be Levesque's second appearance of the postseason. His first came in the bottom half of the 9th inning in the one-game playoff at Hyannis back on Tuesday. Levesque with the teal glove working out of the windup. His first pitch in Game 2. Swing and a miss by Cam Maldonado, the leadoff man for the Mariners, who's coming off an 0 for 5 with 3 strikeout performance in Game 1 at Dorn Park. 5 for 18 overall this postseason is Maldonado. He takes the 0-1. That's in there for strike 2. And you'll see a 3-pitch mix for Levesque. Fastball, changeup, and a slider. Only made 2 starts this spring with URI before suffering a season-ending injury. 0-2. Nearly a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Maldonado lays off. That fastball coming in at 87.
And Levesque does with a lot of authority. You can maybe hear it on our crowd mic. He'll have that grunt when he goes to the heater. He throws with everything he has.
Back out of the windup on the 1-2. It's a pop-up by Maldonado, foul. Maldonado led this Harwich team in average during the regular season at .258. Also led the Mariners in hits, RBIs, stolen bases, and home runs. Prototypical leadoff hitter at the top of this Mariner order. 1-2. It's the slider. It's a line drive to left field. Becerra to a slide. He makes the catch. What a start for Bourne at the plate and in the field, and a perfect time to take you around the diamond. It's Becerra, Stanfield, and Conrad left to right in the outfield. Holcomb, Houston, Barthel, and Lewis left to right in the infield, with Chase Meggers doing the catching for Bourne this evening.
And a good play there from Tristan Becerra, almost slowing up at first and kind of having a weird read on the baseball, kind of slicing down towards the line, and he has to just get low and get down to 2 knees to make the play.
Here's Aiden Robbins out of Seton Hall. First pitch up and in from Levesque. It misses. Make the count 1-0. Robbins, the sophomore outfielder, the Pirate. 5 for 18 this postseason with a double, 2 RBIs, a walk, and a stolen base. Levesque deals the 1-0. Foul tip into the mid of Meggers to even this count at 1. And for Robbins, what a night in Game 1 yesterday. 2 hits in 5 at-bats, including a double. And he made that spectacular catch in foul territory down the left field line. Dropped Garrett Michelle of a second chance in his first plate appearance. 1-1 from Levesque. Skied foul down the right side. And for Levesque, that season-ending injury he had in February came, ironically, against Virginia Tech. That was right before Garrett Michelle suffered his season-ending injury just a week later. He works under the line. The leg kick, the pitch, and a fly ball to right. Conrad drifting back to the wall, but he now charges in, makes the catch, and it's back-to-back retired to start for Levesque.
And that one straight off the bat had a lot of distance, and Conrad a really good read. It's going to also be tough here. 5:30, that sun going down, especially very hard into right field. Usually there's the 6:30 starts here from White House Field. This one at 5:30, they've made that change in the postseason.
A lot brighter. These Bourne players having to fight the sun early in this ball game, as will the Mariner defenders. Aiden Hill to the plate for Harwich. First pitch curveball by Levesque misses upstairs. Hill, a .276 hitter this spring at VCU, taking his talents to College Park. He'll join the Terps in a couple of weeks for fall ball. 1-0, the heater, just missing outside. But for Hill in this postseason in the Cape, 4 hits and 14 at-bats. 2 of those came yesterday in the 7-3 win. Double and an RBI single. Levesque back out of the line. 2-0 heater. Called a strike on the inside corner. For Harwich, back in the championship series for the first time since 2019. That's when they lost to the Kettleers. Their other 2 appearances in this century were both resulting in titles in 2008 and 2011. 2-1, breaking ball. That finds the outside corner. It's a called strike 2.
And we've seen the mix of pitches very well so far from Tristan Levesque. He's not wasted any time back in the rubber and commanding the strike zone very well to start.
3-pitch mix for the veteran left-hander out of Rhode Island. 2-2 pitch with 2 away. In the dirt, scoops away from Meggers as the count works full. Chase Meggers behind the plate once again. Him and John Schroeder have been on an alternating cycle all season long since they've joined this Bourne roster. Both joined in the middle of July. Now the payoff from Levesque to Hill. Skied foul out of play down the left side this time.
And he goes back to that fastball there. He'll likely try to go to it again. He's worked low and inside a few times on the off speed and up and away towards the lefty and Hill.
First left-on-left matchup today between Levesque and Hill. Only 2 left-handed bats in this Harwich order. Another payoff with 2 away. Just outside, and Harwich picks up their first base runner. It comes on a 2-out walk by Aiden Hill.
He goes to the fastball up and outside, just missing there on a good frame from Chase Meggers.
Number 27, Wilson
And a 2-out base
Weber.
runner, just like Bourne. Holcomb single. We'll see now what Harwich can do here. Does Wilson Weber, the backstop, just like Chase Meggers, have an RBI triple in him?
And Harwich, what they did so well yesterday was get consecutive base runners. Every inning they scored, they had at least 3 straight base runners. In that 5-run fifth, they had 5 straight. First pitch to Wilson Weber, the cleanup man. A called strike at the bottom of the zone with the fastball. Weber, another midseason addition for this Harwich team. Robbins in the 2 spot. Hill, who you just saw heard walk, and Weber now hitting, all additions mid to late July. 0-1, slider in the dirt. Hill retreats back to first. Weber, the rising senior out of Oregon State, a 300 hitter in 30 at-bats during the regular season, a 438 hitter in the postseason. 7 hits and 16 at-bats, a couple of doubles, and 5 RBIs, including the go-ahead single in the one-game playoff at Chatham. First pickoff move of the day from Levesque. No tag by Lewis at first base. Weber's been one of the main heroes of this postseason run for Harwich. Nobody thought this team would be in a spot to host Game 2 of the championship series as Levesque throws over once again.
And it's been the switches and the new guys to come in Robbins, Hill, and Weber, guys that were playing 7 games in the regular season and now have been in the 2-3-4 spot here in the playoffs.
Aiden Hill, a 2-out walk. He leads at first base. Levesque stares him down, working from the middle of the rubber. 1-1. Inside-out swing off the end of the bat. It drifts foul over towards that Bourne dugout. The count now in favor of Levesque. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 away in the bottom half of the first inning. A 1-0 Bourne lead. That run, a Chase Meggers RBI triple to right center. This park plays pretty deep. 400 to straightaway center. 330 down the left field line. Pretty similar down the right field line as well. Levesque set at the belt. His 1-2 pitch to Weber. Fastball tailing outside. In the second inning yesterday for Harwich, very similar situation. A 2-out walk for Danny Dickinson, then an RBI single by Macon Winslow following Dickinson's 2 stolen bases. No stolen bases yet for Aiden Hill, but he's got a pretty good lead off of first. He doesn't go, and again, Weber fouls off the 2-strike offering.
And it's back to that low and outside breaking ball pitch. He's just getting the very end of the bat on it. You can't ask for some better spots than from Levesque, but these Harwich hitters last night worked so many long at-bats. They worked Padgett out of the game and even Stevens as well.
Padgett threw 39 pitches in his first inning of work. This will be Levesque's 22nd of his first inning in Game 2. And here is the 2-2 pitch. Elevated fastball. Weber lets it go. It's ball 3. Now you'll see Aiden Hill take off. Full count, 2 away in bottom 1. Bourne trying to keep a lead going into the second. In a very packed environment. Game 2 of the Cape League Championship Series here at White House Field. The payoff. Ground ball. This sneaks past the goal of Merrick Houston. It's into center field. Hill running on the pitch. He gets all the way to third, and the Mariners now threatening as Merrick Houston is slow to get up in shallow center.
And it looks like he's holding near his wrist area. It was Houston who came out of the game last night in replacement for Blake Barthel, and he was shaken up. He's battling some soreness, battling some injuries. That's been going on for a while, and he's been such a warrior to keep playing. Scott Landers inches out of the first base dugout and near the field of play. We'll see if Houston's okay to keep playing here in this inning.
Merrick's been banged up for a while now, but continues to play essentially every day for this Bourne team at shortstop. Never getting a day at DH, a couple of off days at the very end of the regular season, but has played pretty much every game that he's been here for this summer. Left for Team USA for a couple of weeks, but then came back and has been a vital part of this team's run to the championship series. But now Cade Curlin, the second baseman out of Florida. Runners on the corners with 2 away. First pitch from Levesque, misses low.
But what an at-bat there from Wilson Weber to be able to foul off 3 pitches. You work that fastball upstairs. You feel that 3-2 pitch, grounded up the middle. Hill was going. He goes first to third. That's a pro at-bat.
Brings the tying run at third base. But on the next pitch, the 1-0, it's a pop-up into foul territory. Lewis drifting back into fair territory, makes the catch, and Levesque escapes the jam. Runners on the corners with 2 outs, but Cade Curlin pops out to David Lewis, and Bourne keeps its 1-0 lead. We hit the top 2 next from White House Field. It's Bourne with a 1-0 lead over the Mariners. You're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is Bourne's premier senior living community, conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us today at KeystonePlace@buzzardsbay.com. Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an events technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of Cape Cod baseball. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Hello, I'm Cam Koschel, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Welcome back to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Top half of the second inning in Game 2 of the Cape League Championship Series between Bourne and Harwich. The Bravos take an early lead in top 1 thanks to an RBI triple by Chase Meggers. Now it's 6-7-8 for Bourne. David Lewis, Garrett Michelle, and Tristan Macetta trying to add to this total.
And a first inning where Bourne doing some work with 2 outs. They kind of squashed the issues with runners in scoring position. Tristan Levesque works out of a great jam in bottom 1. You get first and third after a big hit up the middle. And now the Braves need to tack on this insurance, and we'll see the first looks at this bottom half of the order.
Lewis, the righty, and then 3 straight lefties to end this Bourne order. Michelle, Becetta, and Barthel. Right on right matchup to begin. Evans, the starter for Harwich. First pitch of the second inning, a fastball missing outside for ball 1. Lewis, 3 for 8 this postseason, a couple of RBIs. One of those an RBI single off the bench yesterday for the Hokie infielder. 1-0 breaking ball misses low for Evans. Evans going into his junior year at K-State. 11 appearances this past spring, an ERA over 10 in 25 innings. He works out of the windup, glove at his face, the 2-0. Fastball up and into Lewis. Make it 3-0. And as for Evans, his last appearance of the regular season came 8 days ago at Chatham. 4 innings, 9 hits, 3 earned. As he finds the top of the zone with that 3-0 fastball. Evans, in his freshman year with Kansas State, was much better, a 3.75 ERA. As Lewis uncorks on the 3-1 fastball. It's to deep left center field, and it's history! The power has been creeping up for David Lewis. It finally comes here in Game 2 of the championship series. His first home run in a Bourne uniform makes it 2-0 Bravos.
And Lewis crushes that baseball, and he'll celebrate with Isaiah Jackson into the first base dugout. Gets the whole dugout out and celebrating. Lewis gets a pitch about letter high and absolutely crushes it to left center field. The Braves respond. Insurance here in sudden death.
What a swing by Lewis. Now his Hokie teammate in Michelle takes the first pitch outside for a ball. Michelle was talking during batting practice, saying he was locked in ahead of today's game. Ropes a line drive, but way foul towards the Bourne dugout on the 1-0. For Michelle, a 3-hit day yesterday, his best offensive performance since July 10th, a month ago to the day, which came against Brewster. He had 4 hits in that one and reached base in all 5 trips to the plate. 1-1 from Evans. Fastball up and outer part of the zone. It's called for strike number 2. Michelle, 5 hits against Harwich this season, 3 of them coming yesterday. He's 4 for 12 in the postseason in 3 games. Evans kicks and deals his 1-2 pitch to Michelle. Deep fly ball to straightaway center. Hill backpedaling, but he's going to make the catch just in front of the warning track for out number 1. Once again, this outfield at White House Field is very deep. 400 to straightaway center. Michelle just misses that baseball.
And 330 down both lines, but the Braves here to begin, just the 1 strikeout for Evans. You have the line out and the fly out to begin the first inning, the 2 consecutive hits, and the really deep fly balls here in the second inning. They are finding Evans early in counts, and they've had some good pieces to begin.
First pitch to Becerra, the 8-hitter in this Bourne order. It misses low in the dirt. Becerra, this is the lowest he's hit in this Bourne order this summer. Usually he's in that 4, 5, or 6 spot. Evans with the 1-0. Fastball up and out. 3 for 15 is Becerra this postseason. A double back in the 1-game playoff at McKeon Park. 1 for 10 in the Catuit series. Then struck out in his lone plate appearance yesterday. 2-0 from the veteran right-hander. Misses below the knees of Becerra. It's 3-0. Becerra had a 12-game on-base streak coming into the Catuit series. That was snapped in Game 1. Has gotten on base in all but 5 games this summer as he takes the fastball on the 3-0 for a strike. Only 4 bats for Becerra this summer against the Mariners. Still looking for his first hit against this Harwich team. 3-1. Won't get it here, but it will be ball 4. Second base runner of the inning for the Bravos. Now a runner on first with 1 away for Blake Barthel.
And now you can see these certain fastballs, these curveballs that he has hung this inning. The home run to Lewis, that fly ball to Michelle is kind of getting to the confidence of Andrew Evans. Now he's missing the zone completely. We saw that in that AB to Becerra.
Barthel swinging one of the hottest bats in this Bourne order. 9 for his last 24. That's a .375 average. He has Becerra on first with 1 away in top 2. First pitch to him, below his knees. Barthel 3 hits and 10 at-bats this postseason. Multi-hit game in the 1-game playoff against Hyannis, then 1 hit and 7 at-bats against Catuit. Lined out yesterday in his lone at-bat. Now the pickoff move over to first. Becerra back in there safely with the head-first slide. But for Barthel's gotten on base in 18 of the 25 games he's played for Bourne this summer. The barrels started to come together more towards the end of the regular season. He finished with a .218 average in 21 games. Here's the 1-0 from Evans. Barthel chomps it foul to Ethan Conrad in the on-deck circle. Now for Bourne, you've gotten a run in each of the first 2 innings. RBI triple for Meggers in the first. Solo homer to begin this inning for David Lewis. Becerra the runner at first for the Bravos. There he goes on the 1-1. Weber's throw down to second base in plenty of time, and Becerra's gunned down. Base running has become a consistent issue for Bourne here in the postseason. They have yet another runner thrown out.
The Braves were caught stealing or / picked off last night twice against Harwich. And that doesn't even include Cam Colgel trying to go from third base to home as well.
Now 2 away for Evans, and his 2-1 to Barthel. Finds the outside corner, called strike 2.
Those small mistakes there is something that's really hurt Bourne, and you get these base runners, you get these chances, you can't just give free outs.
Next offering from Evans. He drifts off the mound to that first base side. The pitch dips low, so the count now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away in top 2. A 2-0 Bourne lead. Evans working from the first base side of the rubber. The payoff to Barthel, torched to deep right. Back going is Maldonado, and it's going to fall in front of the wall. Barthel into second base with a 2-out double.
Inches there. It goes off the base of the wall, probably halfway up there from Barthel, and an upstairs pitch. That one kind of eye level, and a good 2-strike swing, and laces it once again. Bourne, there's been the 3 big swings this inning. Even though one was an out from a shell to dead center, you get Lewis's home run, and Barthel misses a shot right there by a few inches.
Steve Englert out to talk with his starting pitcher, Andrew Evans. He makes the point to the bullpen, and it's going to be a bullpen game for the Mariners. Evans faces the lineup 1 time through, gives up 4 base hits, 3 of them for extra bases, and Bourne heading into the pitching change with a 2-0 lead in Game 2 of the Cape League Championship Series. Don't go anywhere. We'll tell you more about the new pitcher for Harwich next on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
I'm Isaiah Jackson, and you're listening to Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
New pitcher for the Mariners, the rising junior out of UMass Lowell in Michael Symes, who's making just his 3rd appearance this summer for Harwich. Started his summer with North Adams in the CCBL. Last pitched a week ago against Brewster in the regular season finale. Went 3 innings of scoreless baseball. He did walk 2. Now enters the game 2 of the Cape League Championship Series with a runner on second and 2 away as Ethan Conrad, the leadoff hitter, digs in for Bourne.
And he's yet to allow 1 run. It's been the 4 hits, but opponents are batting right now 190 against the righty, but just been those 6 2/3 innings pitched.
3 walks, 2 strikeouts for Symes, the right-hander. His first pitch in the postseason, below the knees of Conrad. Symes, 18 appearances, 9 starts this spring for UMass Lowell. A 5.13 ERA in 59 2/3 innings. Barthel the runner at second, 1-0 count to Conrad, and that hits the elbow guard. Conrad flips the bat in anger over towards the Bourne dugout, but he's going to reach base for the first time tonight as Bourne continues to threaten in top 2.
And they're threatening with 2 outs right now. That big Barthel double, you get now consecutive base runners. You had Becerra on. It would be a chance to have bases loaded right here for Bourne, but we'll take first and second here from Eric Houston.
And a good sign to see Houston staying in this baseball game. He was wincing in pain in shallow center field following the single by Wilson Weber in bottom 1. Houston lays out for that baseball, lands a little awkwardly on the wrist. But now gets his second chance at the plate tonight. First pitch slider from Symes, a called strike on the outside corner. Houston flew out to Aiden Hill in center field for the second out in top 1. An RBI chance for the Demon Deacon with 2 runners on and 2 away. A 1 fastball way outside as the count evens. Bourne has shown so much more life here early in Game 2 than they showed in Game 1 yesterday at home. 1-1. Houston lets that go below his knees. Once again, the count in favor of him, 2-1. But this Bourne team 3-0 this postseason with their backs against the wall. The 1-game playoff, and then games 2 and 3 of the West Division Finals. 2-1, that breaking ball hangs in the zone. Houston does not think it's a strike. He has an argument. That one a little bit outside on the TrackMan data. The count now evens, 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 away in top 2. The pitch from Symes, down and out. Houston's 2-strike approach has been something we've talked a whole lot about throughout the regular season and into the postseason. Loves to walk, loves to foul off pitches with 2 strikes. The payoff from Symes. The runners go. It's a hard ground ball to Jake Ogden at the hot corner. He throws across the diamond, and that'll do it for the top half of the second. But David Lewis begins the frame with a bang. A solo home run, 401 feet to left center. Gives Bourne a 2-0 lead heading into bottom 2 in Game 2 of the Cape League title.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Tristan Levesque back out onto the mound and with some more support via this Bourne offense. Now a 2-0 lead. The Bravos score 1 in each of the first 2 trips to the plate as Matt Scannell digs into the left box, one of 2 lefties in this Harwich order to start bottom 2. First pitch of the inning, a line drive to left center, but Stanfield right there patrolling in center for out number 1. Very hard hit ball by Scannell, came ready to swing in his first at-bat of the night, a 94-mile-an-hour swing to left center, but it's right there for Stanfield.
And first pitch strikes are the way for Tristan Levesque, and he does it at such a consistent basis that these hitters now have the scouting report. They want to go first pitch. That one at 86, probably about a little bit above knee high, and a good swing there from Scannell.
Now Danny Dickinson, the shortstop, fouls the first pitch straight back. Dickinson, great day yesterday. Doesn't have the flashy stats, but 0 for 1 with an RBI. That came on a sacrifice bunt. 2 walks and 2 stolen bases for the shortstop. Also was very busy at the shortstop position. 0-1, he squares to bunt. He pulls back, and that's going to hit him on the wrist. Very vulnerable spot to get hit in. It's that front wrist, the left wrist for Danny Dickinson. He takes a moment to collect himself, now is jogging down to first base.
Yeah, really a tough spot to get hit right there. It almost looked like it was just the middle of his hand as well, shaking it down the first base line. And now we've seen both shortstops on both sides get a little bit dinged up early.
And both with wrist concerns. It's Houston with that left wrist and Dickinson as well with the left wrist following the hit by pitch. Now his speed on the bases for the Mariners, and Michael Anderson to the plate for Harwich. First pitch breaking ball, called a strike on the outside corner. And for Anderson, this was one of their better hitters and one of the best hitters in the Cape throughout the first month. This is his first postseason at bat camp.
Yeah, he slowed down mightily when it came into the late days of June and pretty much all of July, but hit 246 at 5 home runs, was second on the team with RBIs.
Down in the count, 0-1 against Levesque, Bourne starter. 0-1 fastball, 87 on the outside corner. That's a called strike, too. Anderson, his last appearance a week ago against the Whitecaps. 0 for 4, he was hit by a pitch, and he struck out twice. Most strikeouts by any Cape League hitter. Levesque nearly gets Anderson to strike out in his first postseason at bat. The fastball misses just outside the zone at 88. Make the count 1-2. But Anderson torched Bourne the first time the Bravos came here to White House Field. 1-2. There's that grunt from Levesque. It's the slider and a foul ball by Anderson.
And it's not just the fastball that he'll grunt on. It's just a few of these pitches sometimes where it takes a lot out of number 4. Shows a lot of emotion on the mound, stone cold.
He's going to pitch 150% every single pitch he throws tonight. Dickinson at first. 1-2 count with one away in bottom 2. A 2-0 Bourne lead. The pitch. Swing and a miss. The strikeout struggles for Anderson continue as Levesque picks up his first.
His 49th of the summer for Michael Anderson at 48 during that regular season. That was the biggest issue of his struggles after that blazing hot start.
Now Jake Ogden, the third baseman, the 9-hitter in this Harwich order. Coming off a 2 for 4 day yesterday with a double and a strikeout. 4 for 13 in this postseason. Pickoff move to first. Dickinson back in without a slide. It was the second inning yesterday for Dickinson where he gets on via the walk with 2 outs. Then he steals second, steals third, winds up scoring on the Macon Winslow bloop single to right field. Dickinson stays at first for the time being. First pitch to Ogden, fouled straight back on the heater. Ogden, a .234 hitter in the regular season, 29 hits and 124 at-bats. A day 1 starter for the Mariners. 7 extra base hits for Ogden in the regular season, 2 doubles in 4 postseason appearances. All 4 appearances, he's been starting at the hot corner. They've got Dickinson picked off between first and second base, and now a rundown. Houston and Lewis going back and forth. It's Lewis missing the tag initially. Levesque covers the first base bag, and he's the one to tag out Dickinson. We talked about it yesterday, but Bourne was not doing the little things right. They do it right there. They get Dickinson caught in between first and second. They complete the rundown, and that's out number 3. We're through 2 in Game 2 of the Cape League Championship Series, and Bourne has a 2-0 lead over Harwich.
Marty Chevrolet, your dealer for the people, proudly supports the Bourne Braves baseball team. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves. Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay, Bourne's premier senior living community, conventionally located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us at Keystone Place at buzzardsbay.com.
Start of the third here from White House Field, the site for Game 2 of the Cape League Championship Series. What a season it's been for both of these teams. These two teams, bottom 2 seeds in their respective divisions. Harwich, the 3 in the East, Bourne, the 4 in the West. It's safe to say that nobody expected these two teams to match up in this series, but here we are. 2-0 Bourne lead as we start the third. Michael Symes on the mound for the Mariners, and the first pitch slider he throws to Braden Holcomb misses outside.
And especially for the Harwich squad, what they were able to do, Bourne was still the defending champs, the hottest team looking to three-peat, but this Harwich team got of nowhere.
1-0 offering to Holcomb, another ball. So the Vandy boy, with a great start to this series, is up 2-0 in his second plate appearance. He had a single back in the first, a line drive to center. Takes on the 2-0 slider, it misses. Holcomb's up 3-0. And that single for Holcomb, 103 off the bat. He comes all the way to score from first on that RBI triple from Chase Meggers, who awaits on deck. Holcomb can be patient in a 3-0 count with nobody on and nobody out. He takes, and it's a called strike. And yesterday, Holcomb did swing 3-0 with 2 runners in scoring position and only 1 away. He immediately goes into the dugout after popping out. Coach Tolmakia was talking to him about using that as a learning experience as Holcomb fouls off the 3-1.
And a really good timing for the Braves to continue to pounce on Harwich. You get 2 runs in the first 2 innings. You have that lead. The Braves, when they're able to have leads, 16-0-1 their last 25, but 1-8 last time they did not. That was the 8th loss.
Payoff pitch to Holcomb. Misses inside, and it's all the way to the backstop. Holcomb tosses the bat. He's going to wait down till he gets to first base to take off the batting gloves and the leg guard. But he's got a leadoff walk for Bourne, as for the second straight inning, they get the leadoff man on, and in the second, it was Lewis with the home run.
Catcher from Oregon, number 13.
And it will be a hit by a pitch there, just clipping kind of the jersey and hip area of Braden Holcomb. But either way, would have been ball 4, that free pass.
The free pass for Holcomb brings up Meggers. First pitch to Chase is down and out. Meggers got this first inning started for Bourne with a bang. The RBI triple to right center. That first run of game 2. Bourne looking to add to this 2-0 lead. 1-0. The pitch down and into Meggers. Meggers in the regular season, .342 average, had a hit in all 10 games. Took a 13-game on-base streak into this ball game. 2-0 wave and a miss. That on-base streak now at 14 games following the triple.
And he's just been able to find a way on base. Gets that night off last night, but what he did in Game 3 against the Cavaliers, also a big swing, that solo shot.
2-1, the changeup, drifting to the outside corner. It goes all the way outside, and Meggers works this count, 3 balls to a strike. Meggers now 5 for 13 this postseason. And adding a walk to his stats here in the Bourne Braves' 6th playoff game in 2024. Holcomb starts the inning with the hit by pitch. Meggers with the 5-pitch walk, and Bourne is back in business.
And Symes right now not being able to find the zone, gets in these long counts, and the Braves are making him pay. And Bourne first and second, nobody out. A crucial chance to extend this lead.
And maybe a small ball situation as Chris Stanfield, one of the team's better bunters, comes up. He does square early, gets it down. It's right in front of the plate. Scannell, the first baseman, has nowhere to throw the baseball. Cade Kurland, the second baseman, did not go over to cover first base. That's where Scannell wanted to go. Stanfield safe at first, Meggers safe at second, Holcomb safe at third.
And that just can't happen there for the Mariners, and there needs to be that communication. And really nobody moved right there because it was Symes and Scannell coming in, the pitcher and the first baseman. Kurland and Dickinson are both on second base. It's Kurland's job when that bunt shows. You have to be shifting towards that right side to make a play at first.
Now David Lewis, already with a home run today, and he has the bases loaded now. First pitch hard, ground ball. That's past Coach Landers and all the way into the Harwich bullpen. They will give Stanfield a single on that bunt. His first time reaching today, and it comes with the bunt. Now the bases loaded for Bourne, nobody out in the top half of the third. Symes deals the 0-1. Lewis fouls the breaking ball straight back.
And what an addition Lewis has been to the middle of this order. 6 hits and 13 at-bats during the regular season, now 4 hits in 3 postseason games. Symes from the stretch. 0-2 breaking ball to Lewis, just outside.
And the 2 pitches prior, that fastball in the 0-1, he looked really good on it, just fouling it back. And we'll see if Symes goes back to it, now kind of avoiding that pitch to Lewis.
Symes, a deep breath and the set. 1-2, hard ground ball to shortstop. Dickinson flips to Kurland at second base for the first out. The turn is in time to Scannell. A much-needed 6-4-3 double play for the Mariners. However, Bourne does get 1 run. Holcomb scores from third as the Bravos take a 3-0 lead.
And you bring Chase Meggers to third base at the very least if you want to take another win outside of that being a double play, as Steve Englert, the field manager, talking to the third base ump down the line and Jeffrey Kinney. Not sure what the exact conversation is here. There was the 6-4-3 double play. I'm not sure what else the argument could be there from Englert talking down to Kinney.
Unclear, but there will be no further delay as Harwich continues to get a right-hander loose in the bullpen. It's Cooper McGrath out of Northeastern. But for the time being, Michael Symes remains in the ballgame. A 3-0 Bourne lead in top 3. Runner on third with 2 away for Michelle. First pitch to Garrett, a slider missing low. Symes, the rising junior out of UMass Lowell, hadn't given up an earned run in 6 2/3 innings with Harwich this summer. 1-0. Michelle takes, it's a called strike. That will be the first run that Symes allows this summer. But no RBI for Lewis. 1-1 to Michelle. Fouled away over the grandstand just next to that Harwich dugout down the third base side.
A good pitch low and away there from Symes, and he's finally in a count where he's ahead like this 1-2. Now he needs to find that put-away pitch here against Michelle.
Here is the 1-2 pitch. Michelle pops it up to that left side once again. Michelle getting that confidence back in the box. 3 hits yesterday, including a double with 2 outs in the bottom half of the 9th inning, refusing to give up in game 1. Another RBI chance with Meggers at third base. And the 1-2. Michelle, his 3rd straight foul ball. Garrett comes into this game 4 for 12 in the postseason. That double, as I just alluded to, in the 9th inning yesterday. And an RBI single in game 1. Symes kicks and deals his 1-2. Michelle goes down to a knee, and it's strike 3. It's the first strikeout of the afternoon for Michael Symes as he gets out of a bases-loaded, nobody-out jam with only allowing 1 run. It comes on that 6-4-3 double play. Holcomb scores and makes it 3-0 Bourne. Bottom 3 coming up next on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer, handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at Portside Liquors, 590A, MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story. Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an event technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com, cdsreg.com, and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Bourne continues to stack runs in Game 2, a must-win game in the Cape League Championship Series.
The Bravos get one in the top half of the third on David Lewis's 6-4-3 double play ball. Holcomb comes home to score, and it's now 3-0 Bourne as we start the bottom half of the third.
And all you can ask right now is to stack runs in consecutive innings and find a way to keep extending this lead.
Tristan Levac with that teal glove back out for his third inning of work. Ogden starts the inning with a square. It's a bunt to the right side. What a bunt that is. He beats it out. He catches everybody in the Bourne infield off guard. Lewis, the first baseman, actually gets there in plenty of time, but Levac had no chance to beat Ogden to the bag. It's a leadoff single for the Mariners.
A phenomenal push bunt right there, and a really good job from Jake Ogden to place that to the right side of David Lewis. Goes to that backhand. It's kind of in between Barthel and Lewis, between that 3-4 hole, and not enough time for Levac to get over there. That's just picture perfect.
Maldonado coming back to the plate for the Harwich Mariners. 0 for 6 so far in this series. 3 strikeouts yesterday in the Game 1 win. Levac to the plate, his first pitch. Off the mound and off his foot. Levac fields the baseball but has no play anywhere. 2 infield singles for the Mariners, playing their version of small ball. Now the tying run coming to the plate in Aiden Robbins.
And that's what a bunt can do to start the inning. You get that first base runner here at home. You bring the Harwich crowd back into it. Maldonado, a hard ground ball up the middle, and off the foot of Levac. So a few singles right now that have just not gone your way. You're not getting the bounce that you wanted. And now you have to get your composure here, reset, entering this jam.
Aiden Robbins, the sophomore out of Seton Hall, coming to the plate. He represents the tying run in the bottom half of the third. Ogden with that leadoff single via the bunt. He's at second. Maldonado, that scorching ground ball, 98 miles an hour off his bat, off of the foot of Levac. He leads at first base. First pitch out of the stretch from Levac. Popped up foul by Robbins. Robbins 10 for 26 during the regular season with Harwich. Started his summer with the Gaithersburg Giants in the Cal Ripken League out in Maryland and Virginia. A .333 average there with 16 extra base hits. Levac working from the middle of the rubber. 0-1. Did he go around? Yes, he did, says Carmen Parati down at first base. It's 0-2. The rest of our crew here tonight, Chris Engstrand behind the plate, Parati at first, Jeffrey Merzel at second, and Jeff Kinney at third base. Those 4 guys just doing a clockwise rotation following game 1. 0-2 with nobody out. Nearly a foul tip into the mitt of Meggers. Just goes off the tip of his glove, and the count remains 0-2. Robbins flew out to Conrad his first time up. That was out number 2 in the bottom half of the first. Harwich would then get consecutive base runners for the first time tonight before Kate Curlin popped out to end the inning. Harwich gets consecutive base runners here to begin the bottom half of the third. 2 singles by Ogden and Maldonado. Now Robbins in an 0-2 count with Levac. The pitch. Fastball nearly missing. 1-2 now the count. After that, fastball comes in at 88. Levac started his summer with the Mystic Schooners in the NECBL. A sub-2 ERA in 29 1/3 innings. Now pitching the biggest game of the season for Bourne. And he gets a ground ball to the first baseman in David Lewis. A slight bobble, but he's able to step on the first base bag. There's out number 1 as Ogden goes to third, Maldonado to second.
And the Mariners will trade kind of that ground ball to move both runners over. Now a single can likely score both right now. You can make it a 1-run game with a base hit. And a good job from Lewis just staying in front of that baseball. Had those 2 bobbles, but was coming near the bag, so not a lot of room there for error to just step on the base.
And what a base hit could do here for Harwich. You could get this huge crowd here at White House Field on their feet and get the Mariners back in this baseball game. First pitch to Hill. It's the slider down and out for ball 1. Hill at the plate, a walk in his first at-bat on a full count. Work that count just as Harwich has been doing all postseason long. Hill 4 hits and 14 at-bats coming into this ball game in the postseason. 1-0 from Levac. Another slider down and away. Hill started his summer with the Otterbots in the Appalachian League. The Otterbots went on to win the Appy League title. Hill hit .246 there in 18 games. Hit .321 in 7 games with Harwich in the regular season. He's got 2 runners in scoring position. And the 2-0, a check swing, foul ball.
And in those first 2 innings, the reason Levesque was so good, not getting down in counts, we've seen some 2-0s right now. We saw the first pitch swinging from Maldonado and Ogden, knowing that he's going to throw first pitch strikes, and it's almost had Levesque move away from that a little bit. Now these longer counts having to work back.
Ogden, the leadoff man at third base. Maldonado followed with a single. He's at second. 2-1 pitch from Levesque. Right back to the off speed. A great block by Meggers behind the plate to keep the ball in front, but the count now 3 balls and a strike to Aiden Hill, who represents the tying run. If he were to reach, the go-ahead run comes to the plate in Wilson Weber, who's having one of the best postseasons out of anybody in the Cape League. If Harwich were to win the series, would be the front runner for the series MVP. 3-1, fastball right down the middle for strike 2. Patient is Hill. That fastball 87, knee high, but right in the middle of the zone. And now a huge pitch in this at-bat and this ball game. 3-2 count, 2 runners in scoring position for Harwich in bottom 3, trailing by 3. The payoff from Levesque. Hill does not chase the elevated fastball. He's down to first base with his second walk of this ball game, and that brings the go-ahead run to the plate for the Mariners.
And a really good inning here for Harwich, just being able to consecutively get on, move these runners over, even with that ground out. Now you have a prime chance here. 3-0 game. It's almost very similar to what the Braves and the Cavaliers were doing in Game 3. The Cats got up 3-0. Bourne had to slowly crawl back just like this. And Scott Landers comes out of the first base dugout to calm down his lefty in Levesque.
Levesque right now at 47 pitches through 2 1/3 innings pitched. And I believe that's going to be it for Tristan Levesque here with the Braves in 2024. He throws 47 pitches, faces the lineup 1 full time through, and his day is done. And it's one of the best relievers in the entire league. Griffin Hughes coming into this game for Bourne with the bases loaded and 1 away in the bottom half of the 3rd. Don't go anywhere. We'll tell you more about Hughes after this on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at 590A MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story. Marty Chevrolet is your dealer for the people and proudly supports Bourne Braves baseball. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves.
I'm Chris Stanfield, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is Bourne's premier senior living community, conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us today at Keystone Place at buzzardsbay.com.
Griffin Hughes has brought the energy, the moxie, and a great performance every time he comes out onto the mound for this Bourne team in 2024. Well, he enters the game in a must-win game for Bourne, Game 2 of the Cape League Championship Series, with the bases loaded and only 1 away, up by 3.
And he was asked to come into a similar spot against the Harbor Hawks, or against the Cavaliers, 5 innings of work in 1 hit, or no, it was Ioannis, and 1 walk on 6 strikeouts. In that game, you got to start from McIlvain, where he only goes 3 innings. Hughes has to come in and really do the job in a long relief role, and Scott Landers is going to ask him to do really the same exact thing right here, ask for some distance and reliability.
Hughes gets the win in the 1-game playoff. 5 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. He entered the 4th inning of that game to begin the inning. Now comes in here in the Cape League Championship Series with the bases loaded and 1 away. It's Wilson Weber at the plate. First pitch is a swing and a miss at that fastball, clocking in at 92 from the right-hander Griffin Hughes, who has a 4-pitch mix, a fastball, a slider, a curveball, and a changeup. Comes set at the belt. Does Weber go around on the 0-1? Yes, he does. Elevated fastball this time from Hughes. Makes it 0-2. Hughes actually did get roughed up against the Mariners all the way back on the 18th of June. That was his first appearance this summer. This being his 13th for Bourne. 0-2 with one away. Painted on the outside corner. A called strike 3. This is what Griffin Hughes does. He gets the strikeouts, he gets the backwards Ks, and he gets out in crucial situations.
Just a really good spot right there. You kind of work that middle lower half of the zone, inside as well towards the righty and Weber, and he just gets rung up.
And it's up to Cade Kurland, the Mariners second baseman, to keep this inning alive for Harwich. Hughes sets, kicks and deals, hits the curveball, it misses out. Hughes in the regular season, 2-0 in 23 1/3 innings, a 2.31 ERA throughout 11 appearances, 4 walks to 24 strikeouts. Glove at his chin, 1-0 fastball, popped up, fouled over the backstop, and it's 1-1 to Kurland. Hughes, 1 walk to 6 strikeouts. He keeps that ratio going in his first postseason appearance. Some Bourne fans might remember him from winning that standoff earlier this summer against Aaron Savory of Hyannis. 1-1, curveball blocked by Meggers. What a stand by Meggers behind the plate. That curveball goes about 59.5 feet, lands about a foot in front of the plate, and Meggers a brick wall to keep Harwich off the board.
And that curveball is some serious break right there. And when it's located, it's super tough to hit.
Bases remain loaded for Harwich in bottom 3. Hughes takes a breath, deals the 2-1. There's the changeup, a swing and a miss from Kurland, makes it 2-2. We've yet to see the slider from Hughes, but we've seen the fastball, the curveball, and right there the changeup for the first time. Hughes entered the game with the bases loaded and 1 away. The bases remain loaded with 2 away. Now a 2-2 pitch to Kurland. Soft ground ball to Merrick Houston at shortstop. He flips to Blake Barthel at second, and there's out number 3. Griffin Hughes with a nod to his dugout. There's that moxie for number 12. He gets Bourne out of a bases-loaded, 1-out jam as the Mariners strand the bases loaded. We get to top 4 in Game 2 of the Cape League Championship Series with Bourne out in front, 3-0.
Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an events technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of Cape Cod baseball. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Bourne clings on to this 3-0 lead as we start the top half of the fourth from White House Field. Alongside Cam Manna, I'm Nathan Schwartz with you here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Game 2 of the Cape League Championship Series with Bourne trailing 1-0 in the series. A 7-3 win for the Mariners yesterday at Dorn Park. Becerra leads off this inning for the Bravos. First pitch misses low for a ball. Becerra with a walk back in the second inning. He was caught stealing at second base. 1-0 from Michael Symes. That's behind Becerra. The count moves to 2-0. Rarely see that. The slider from Symes he waits a little too long to throw it, and it goes behind the knees of Becerra for ball number 2. Now Symes kicks in, deals a fastball right down Broadway to make the count 2-1.
And a weird pitch right there. Kind of just darts very fast past Becerra, but at least he works the fastball back into the zone.
Symes in his second full inning of work. His next offering, another fastball missing below the knees of Tristan Becerra out of Clemson. The count 3-1 in favor of the Tiger. Becerra looking to reach for the second time in game 2. 3-1, hard line drive to left center. This one gets down and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Becerra around first, he's into second easily. He thinks about heading for third, but goes back to second base. It's a leadoff double for Bourne, their 4th extra base hit tonight.
And Becerra just cruises into second base, laces it the other way, has been doing so much better going the other way. And there is that shift at times that you'll see where they bring 3 infielders on the right side, as we've seen him be pull heavy for his powerful swings. But Becerra that time splits the gap in left center field.
What a swing by Becerra. His second double of the postseason. It's 103 miles an hour off the bat. Now Barthel, first pitch to him. There was an appeal down to the third base umpire, Jeff Kinney. Barthel does not go around on the first pitch slider. It's 1-0. Barthel had the other double for Bourne in this game back in the second. 1-0. That finds the outside corner. It's a called strike 1. For Bourne, that double by Becerra was their first extra base hit since Barthel's down the right side in the second. Bit of a sword right there against Barthel. The fastball clocking in at 87 on the outside corner makes this count 1-2. Barthel didn't get the start yesterday, starting at second today, and he clubs the 1-2 fastball way foul. Barthel out of Coastal Carolina, a .218 hitter in the regular season. Now 4 hits and 11 at-bats during the postseason. An RBI chance with Becerra at second base. 1-2 from Symes. Barthel lets it go. There's another appeal down to third base, but no swing for Barthel. The count evens at 2. Barthel also now 10 for his last 25. That's a .400 average. 2-2. Fastball slapped past the light post beyond the Harwich dugout down the third base line. Bourne rocking the road blues with the gray pants, the red socks. Harwich going with the creams tonight. Mariners spelled out across the chest. Blue letters, blue numbers with the red outline. 2-2 again, a foul ball by Barthel. Harwich also going with their 4th of July caps. A staple for this kind of uniform with the red, white, and blue.
Really nice combination, and you love kind of the cream jerseys, the pants as well. Very nice fit.
Both teams with the red, white, and blue. Bourne yesterday went with the all-whites at home. Harwich, very similar uniform combination that Bourne has tonight. 2-2 off the end of the bat. Barthel with another foul ball in this plate appearance. That's his 4th here in his 2nd of the evening. And that double he had, nearly a home run down the right field line back in the 2nd inning with only 1 away. Another 2-2 pitch. This changeup goes way outside. And what an at-bat this has been for Barthel. 9 pitches. This will be the 10th against Symes as Barthel looks to get Bourne another base runner with nobody out in top 4. The payoff from Symes. Hard ground ball, and it's the 5th foul ball of this at-bat. It goes right to the first base coach, Quinn Stromberg.
And we saw Cam Maldonado on the other side last night work back-to-back at-bats, total of 18 pitches. Blake Barthel here. This is going to be the longest at-bat of the series so far.
The 11th pitch coming up between Symes and Barthel. Who's going to win it? We won't have a winner quite yet. Another foul ball by Barthel. This count started with a ball, then 2 straight called strikes, then foul ball, ball, 3 straight foul balls, ball again, and here we are. Another payoff pitch, the 12th pitch of the at-bat, and Barthel takes strike 3. A perfect spot, middle. Barthel knew it immediately. He goes down for out number 1.
And a really good fastball there on the inner half just rings up Blake Barthel. And just like Maldonado, with these long ABs, you lose the battle via the strikeout. But you work Symes' pitch count now creeping up towards that 50 pitch mark, and not even through 2 innings of work.
This will be the 48th pitch for Symes out of the Harwich bullpen. It goes to Conrad, the leadoff hitter in this Bourne lineup, and it's ball 1. Conrad 0 for 1 today. A line out to begin to Aiden Robinson left. Then Conrad was hit by a pitch on the elbow guard in the second. Back pick to second base. Becerra, that ball hits off of him, and he stays on the second base bag. Becerra was caught stealing earlier in this ball game, trying to go from first to second. Symes tries to back pick at second base right there. With a little bit of a better throw, Becerra had a chance to be tagged out. He was dancing about 15 feet off of that second base bag. Back to a lead, and the 1-0 pitch to Conrad. Nearly hits him again. Conrad has to shuffle out of the way on that fastball. The count moves to 2-0.
And he's going to get hit again. He was nailed off the elbow guard, thankfully, in that at-bat in the second, excuse me.
Swing and a miss by Conrad. He saw a fastball he liked in a 2-0 count. The head was way pulled there. When Bourne takes that home run swing on a count like that, usually it's their head drifting away. 2-1. Conrad keeps his head on right there, but still cannot make contact with the pitch. It's a swing and a miss as the count evens, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Becerra with a leadoff double in top 4. He still remains at second base. Barthel with that strikeout. Now a 2-2 pitch to Conrad. Change up down low. It was 12 pitches to Barthel. Now we'll see the 6th pitch to Conrad. And a full count with 1 away in top 4. Symes set at the belt. The payoff. Fouled off the front foot of Conrad.
Another really good at-bat right here, and we've seen Symes struggle to throw those consistent strikes. And even when he does, we've seen the foul balls, but he just had that big AB against Blake Barthel, and he likes that fastball low and inside of the lefties.
And he's loved that changeup down in the zone as well. 3-2, nearly hits the foot of Conrad. There is no hit by pitch. Weber goes to get the baseball. Becerra actually gets to third, and Conrad down to first with a walk.
And it's what Harwich did to Levesque last inning. When you make an arm throw consecutive pitches over and over again, you force the foul balls. You get into these counts where you have to win on a 3-2, and we saw Symes do it to Barthel, but not there to Ethan Conrad. Just misses mightily on the inner half.
Runners on the corners now for Bourne in top 4, only 1 away. Bourne has scored in each of the first 3 innings so far tonight. First pitch to Houston. Fastball outside corner, it's a called strike 1. Houston's 0 for 2, a fly out to center his first time up, then a ground out to Ogden at third to end the second inning. Becerra leads at third, Conrad at first in top 4 with 1 away. Symes steps off the rubber. He works on the first base side of the rubber, taking his time in between pitches as well. This will be his 56th pitch of the outing, but before he throws it, Wilson Weber going out to have a chat with his battery mate. As we have time to recap what a wild game this has been so far. 3 runs on 6 hits for Bourne. They have a run in the first, second, and third innings. In the first, it was an RBI triple for Chase Meggers. In the second, a leadoff homer for David Lewis. And in the third, Braden Holcomb scores as David Lewis grounds into a 6-4-3 double play.
And you found a way to find insurance in all these innings, and that's really crucial with this Harwich team. Their chance to strike in that bottom half as well. Having bases loaded, 1 out, you get out of the jam. That's how close his Mariners squad has been.
But Bourne looking to threaten once again. Runners on the corners, 1 away. Houston squares to bunt, pulls back. There's a throw to second base. It nearly goes to center. The throw back to home is late by Kurland. Becerra scores. The double steal with runners on the corners works out to perfection. Conrad takes second. Becerra steals home, and it's that 4-0 Bourne lead.
And it seems like Weber there almost second-guessing himself to make that throw. It's late, it's high to Kurland. Kurland also pump-faked on the transfer to come to home, and Becerra was way safe.
The little things. We keep harping on it, but that's the difference in postseason baseball. Now a 4-0 Bourne lead. Conrad at second. Houston still squares to bunt, pulls back, and it's a called strike 2. That pitch down in the zone, knee high against Houston. Looking to play small ball in top 4. Symes back out of the stretch. Similar spot on the 1-2. This time just outside as the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. For Becerra, that was his second stolen base of the playoffs. That was Conrad's first. And now the home plate umpire and Chris Engstrand giving a warning to the Harwich dugout. Some words said, unclear by who, whether it be a player or one of the coaches, but Engstrand with that point to the Harwich dugout down the third base side, that is a warning. So any more complaints out of that Harwich dugout that Engstrand does not like, there could be an ejection. But back to baseball. 2-2 count to Houston with one away. There goes Conrad to third. It's ball 3. The throw is late by Weber to third. Conrad steals another base. He goes from first to third in a matter of 4 pitches. And Bourne has yet another run just 90 feet away.
And it's a matter of inches. Weber going to third base. Houston not leaving the box. It's his box, who does not have to move. And he's almost shielding Weber, so he has to go around the body of Houston.
Infield comes in on the payoff to Houston. It's a fly ball into shallow right. Having to shield the sun is Maldonado, and he's able to make the catch in shallow right. That was really close to falling into no man's land. That sun is absolutely brutal in both center and right field for Aiden Hill and Cam Maldonado. Maldonado charging in. He has to fight the sun, also communicate with Dickinson and Kirtle in the middle infielders. Eventually, Maldonado able to make the catch as Conrad has to stay at third base.
And what's so tough is the infield's fully shaded, the shallow outfield is fully shaded, and then there's little spots of sun that crowd in right field, and that's what makes it so tough there. You see those little spots, and it's that weird shift in the sky. You're staring at almost shade and sun.
Braden Holcomb to the plate for Bourne. Runner on third, 2 away. First pitch slider right down the middle for a strike. Holcomb's 1 for 1 today. That 2-out single in the first, and then a hit by pitch in the third. He scored both times around the bases. 0-1, drifting outside. This Bourne team has scored 1 run in each of the first 4 trips to the plate, and they're looking to add to the 1 run they've already scored here in the top of the 4th. 1-1. Broken back ground ball to second base. This is Curlin. Throws on the first, and there's out number 3. So it remains just 1 run for Bourne in each of their first 4 trips to the plate. In the 4th, it comes on the double steal. Conrad to second. Becerra steals home, and the Bravos take a 4-0 lead to bottom 4 in Game 2 of the Cape League Championship Series.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Hello, I'm Cam Kozel, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Bottom half of the 4th inning from White House Field. It's Game 2 of the Cape League Championship Series between Bourne and Harwich. The Mariners steal Game 1 on the road yesterday, a 7-3 win over Bourne. Now Bourne in Game 2 with a 4-0 lead on the road in Game 2. Both teams playing better in the road setting with their backs against the wall. As Griffin Hughes comes back out for his first full inning of work He'll face Matt Scannell. The first pitch fastball from Hugas. A called strike on the outside corner. Scannell, the 6th hitter in this Harwich order. Scannell, Dickinson, and Anderson due up in bottom 4. Hugas out of the wind. His curveball on the 0-1 misses in the dirt. Scannell, a fly out to center field his first time up. That was to lead off the bottom of the 2nd. Stanfield was patrolling in center field. It was a hard fly ball into the left center gap. 1-1 heater, down and out for ball 2. And for Hugas, just building his summer after a pretty good spring with Cincinnati. 33 innings, a couple of saves, and an ERA at 4.9. 2-1, ground ball to shortstop. This is Merrick Houston throwing to first. There's out number 1 in bottom 4.
And what makes Griffin Hugas so good is the first pitch outs work so quickly on the mound. And when he gets into a rhythm, it's so tough for him to get out of it. And we saw that in that last outing against Hyannis. Once he gets through the first 2, if he's in that go mode, it's very tough to break him out.
Danny Dickinson, the junior out of LSU, coming to the plate for Harwich. He was hit by a pitch in that 2nd inning. Was picked off in between first and second base. First pitch from Hugas, once again in the dirt. Dickinson still looking for his first base hit of this series. He had 3 in the 2 games against YD and 1 in the 1-game playoff against Chatham. 1-0 fastball, spiked, scoop out of the dirt by Meggers. Hugas got those final 2 outs of the 3rd with the bases loaded and 1 away. A strikeout of Weber and a ground out to Kurland. 2-0, that fastball rides inside. Quickly a 3-0 start for Dickinson, looking to reach base for the 2nd time tonight and the 4th time in this series. 3-0 in the dirt, ball 4. Hugas only had 4 walks in the regular season. Had 1 in the 1-game playoff against Hyannis. Now has 1 here in game 2.
But it does really kind of give your team a chance here for a double play, and a guy in Michael Anderson who has been striking out a whole bunch. It was the 49th punch out for him back in the 2nd inning. It's not a bad spot here to face the bottom of this order if you let that one free pass.
And Anderson once again having his first swings of the postseason here tonight. First pitch misses upstairs to Anderson. Very tall frame, 6'3", 230 pounds out of Pennsylvania. A rising junior at Arkansas, who's leaving the Rhode Island program where Bourne starter Tristan Levesque plays. 1-0 to Anderson, up and in, and he gets out of the way.
And a big thing to be cautious here for is Danny Dickens' ability to steal bases. We saw 2 bags stolen last night for him from 2nd to 3rd, and then he ended up scoring. He brings a lot of swagger and that energy. It really creates so much offense for this team when he's on base.
He leads at first with 1 away in bottom 4. Stays put on the 2-0 fastball and make that 7 straight balls thrown by Griffin Hugas. A 4-pitch walk to Dickinson, now a 3-0 start against Michael Anderson. And for Hugas, this is the least amount of rest he's had, especially considering the amount of pitches he threw on Tuesday. 3-0, that's going to find the outside corner. It's 3-1. But this is the least amount of rest any Bourne pitcher has had after throwing 5 innings just 5 days ago. 3-1, another fastball, swing and a miss by Anderson. 91 on the inside corner. The count's now full.
And a massive 3-1 swing there. He has to shorten up here in the full count.
Hugas working out of the stretch. 3 kicks to a set, and he gets a swing and a miss. Started off 3-0 against Anderson, works back with 3 fastballs. Anderson can't catch up to it, and it's the 2nd strikeout of the afternoon for Hugas.
Every pitch in that bat is pretty much chest high and above. Knows what the pitch that Anderson's going to chase, and once again, just a huge home run derby type swing from Michael Anderson with 2 strikes.
Anderson with 13 homers this spring with Rhode Island as Jake Ogden digs in. First pitch ball from Hugas. And then for Anderson, 5 home runs in the regular season. Tied for the team lead with Cam Maldonado, who waits on deck. Ogden with 2 away in bottom 4, up 1-0. That 1-0 pitch from Hugas, way above the helmet of Ogden. Ogden had that bunt single back in the 3rd inning, caught everybody in the Bourne infield off guard. That was the start of the frame where Tristan Levesque started to run into some trouble. It was Hughes that came in and was the hero. Got Bourne out of that bases loaded, 1-out jam. 2-0 with 2 away. That's a foul tip for Ogden, right into the mid of Meggers. Hughes, a 2.31 ERA in the regular season. Coming off those 5 scoreless innings on Tuesday in the one-game playoff where he got the win. 2-1. He's loving that fastball. This time it's just below the strike zone. 90 miles an hour from Hughes. That fastball can be anywhere from 90 to 93 for the rising junior out of Miami. Another 3-ball count for Hughes. Dickinson stays put at first, and it's a hard chopper into the Harwich bullpen.
And he almost wanted to go there. His front leg, that right leg, was fully leaning. He almost got off balance and had to go back to first base. He's trying to read Griffin Hughes right now, who's doing a good job from the stretch, changing his delivery, the timing of the delivery, so there can't be any really quick jumps here from Danny Dickinson.
Ogden broke his bat, I believe, on that last swing. He's going to go get a new one from his dugout. Sam McNulty, his third base counterpart, went to go give him a bat. Then it was somebody outside the dugout that wound up giving him a new one. But the count remains full, 3 balls, 2 strikes, with 2 away in the bottom half of the 4th. A 4-0 Bourne lead in Game 2 of the championship series. Danny Dickinson, the runner at first for Harwich. He had a 1-out walk. He's off on the 3-2 pitch. Ogden lunges and fouls off the payoff. Hughes as well. Yes, he has the 4-pitch mix. Has made some starts at the collegiate level, just 3 of them in 2 years with Cincinnati. But he loves the fastball and the slider. He's going to live there, and if those pitches are working, you will rarely see the changeup. The curveball will float in from time to time to catch the hitters off guards, but he's a power arm. Another payoff, it's the fastball, and it's cleat level to Ogden. Second walk of the frame for Hughes. Remember, he only had 5 all season coming into tonight.
And what can get him in trouble sometimes is when that fastball is not commanding for a power pitcher, you have to rely on the location of the curveball, and there's been a lot of times where Hughes can't command that on a consistent basis. Misses there low on the fastball.
Back to the top of the Harwich order and Cam Maldonado. 1 for 2 tonight. First pitch breaking ball by Hughes. Skied foul. Lewis going to run out of room down the first base side. From Maldonado, a line out to Becerra to begin the ball game for Harwich in the first. Becerra has to go to a slide to make that catch. And Maldonado, a hard ground ball up the middle off the foot of Levesque on the mound. Hughes checks the runners. His 0-1 to Maldonado. Evens the count.
And the Mariners right now 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position. They have left 5 on. It's very similar to what the Braves were struggling with last night.
Bourne was 4 for 13 with runners in scoring position in that 7-3 loss. 1-1. There's the slider. A lot of bite on it. Maldonado lays off as the count works in his favor, 2-1. We'll dive into it more when Bourne comes to bat. But 11 for 51 in the playoffs with a runner in scoring position are the Braves. 2-1 with 2 away. Fastball right there on the outside corner. The count evens once again at 2s. Griffin Hughes has had to pitch out of some big spots already in this ball game. The bases loaded jam in the 3rd. Now 2 runners on with 2 away in the 4th. He takes a breath. Glove at his chin. His 2-2 pitch. He falls off the mound a little bit. Gets the fastball over the plate. Maldonado shoots it foul once again. And the pitch count for Hughes. Climbing. This will be his 35th pitch coming up right here. He's only recorded 4 outs, but you don't expect him to go as long as he did the other day in the one-game playoff against Hyannis.
And it's because of that rest, the shortest that he's been able to pitch on.
If he could give you 2 to 3 innings, that would be huge for Bourne in Game 2. Count even at 2s with 2 away. And we see a back pick, a lob over to Barthel covering the bag. It's Dickinson at second. He had the 1-out walk. Ogden's at first with the 2-out walk. The only 2 base runners that Hughes has allowed through his first 6 batters. Maldonado, the leadoff man at the plate for Harwich. trying to get the Mariners back into this game. 2-2. It's the curveball. Did he go around? No, he did not, says Carmen Parati down at first base. So now this count gets even more interesting. 3-2, 2 away. Runners will be off on the pitch. Maldonado trying to reach base with a walk or give Harwich a run. Hughes sets, kicks, and deals. And it's fouled all the way to the backstop.
A really good 3-2 pitch. It's going to be a 50-50 strike. Looked a little bit low, but Maldonado just fouls it off on that fastball that's super downhill from Hughes.
Maldonado fighting for the second straight night against Bourne pitching. The 8th pitch of the at-bat between Hughes and Maldonado right here. Here it is. Line drive down the left field line, and it is foul. Bourne catches a massive break. With the full count, the runners were off on the pitch. Dickinson was going to score easily. Ogden on his horse. He rounded third before Becerra, the left fielder, even touched the baseball in foul territory. So if that ball is about 3 feet to the right, it's a 2-run double for Maldonado.
Yeah, probably just so close, even inches there. That ball the whole entire way looks fair, but it has that top spin and just continues to hook left, 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 and just drops foul. And everybody on the edge of their seat. And that sigh of relief for the Braves and that awe factor there for the Harwich fans.
That was the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Already 4 foul balls in this plate appearance from Maldonado. In a full count with 2 away against Griffin Hughes, the first relief arm for Bourne. The payoff. Soft ground ball back to Merrick Houston, ranging to his left, throwing on the run to first. The head first slide by Maldonado. He's safe. Here comes Dickinson from second, and he scores. A base running clinic for Harwich with 2 away. They're giving everything they've got in game 2. And what a moment that is for both Maldonado and Dickinson. Maldonado, if he doesn't have a head first slide, he's out and the inning comes to an end. Not only does he slide head first safely into first base, but Dickinson was going to score from second base regardless. It was a close play at the plate, but the tag by Meggers was just late as the Mariners finally get on the board.
And how can you not love baseball? That play just kind of describes so much about this amazing game. Maldonado up the first base line, head first slide into first base, knowing it's going to be a bang-bang play on a little bit of a lob throw from Merrick Houston. And Danny Dickinson is one of the most electric players on the Cape. He has a stolen base, or 2 actually in this series, heads to third, up at third base, leading off the bag, head first slide into home plate, extending it for that first run, and that woke up the Mariners.
They will give Maldonado an RBI on that, his second hit of the ball game. Both infield singles. So now it's 4-1 in favor of Bourne. The tying run coming to the plate for Harwich and Aiden Robbins. Ogden now at second base, Maldonado at first. And now this crowd, the home crowd for Harwich, coming back to life. Fans scattered throughout the outfield on both grandstands and along both baselines. First pitch to Robbins, hard ground ball to Holcomb. Sets his feet, throws across the diamond, and that'll end the threat. But the Mariners finally get on the board. An RBI infield single for Cam Maldonado, where Danny Dickinson scores all the way from second base. As we head to the 5th here in Game 2, it's Bourne with a 4-1 lead. Stay with us on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
To dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, Dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts. Milton Rents, your local source.
Harwich gets one back in the bottom half of the fourth inning. It's now 4-1 in favor of the Bravos as we start the top half of the fifth. Alongside Cam Manna, I'm Nathan Schwartz with you here in the Bourne Braves Baseball Network from White House Field in Harwich. Chase Meggers leads off the frame for Bourne. First pitch fastball from Michael Symes misses out. For Symes, he's through 2 1/3 innings of relief of the starter, Andrew Evans, who went the first inning in 2/3. 1-0 to Meggers. Changeup drifting out. It's 2-0. For Symes, 63 pitches entering the frame. 2 earned runs and 2 strikeouts. Meggers, line drive right at Kurland on the 2-0 swing. That's out number 1. You can't hit the ball much harder than that if you're Chase Meggers, and perfectly positioned at second base is Kurland.
And he lasers it right there, and Symes is given some length here, even though it kind of looks like there's been multiple times where he could be out of this baseball game. Already warming up in that Harwich bullpen. Lefty could be ready soon as well, but he needs to give some length. And you don't want to go full bullpen game after Andrew Evans only went 1 2/3.
Now Stanfield with one away. First pitch slider at the top of the zone. It's a called strike. Symes in his last appearance of the regular season went 3 innings against the Whitecaps. 0-1. Stanfield goes around on that slider, finding its way back into the strike zone to make the count 0-2. And in that first appearance for Symes out of the bullpen for Harwich, it was 3 2/3 innings. 0-2 to Stanfield. Slider up and in. So now Symes, if he can get one more out, will be through 3 full innings. If he gets through this 5th, he'll be through 3 1/3, and that would likely end his day. Stanfield takes on the 1-2. He is baffled at the call. It's a strike 3 on the outside corner. Down and out, according to the TrackMan, that would have been ball number 2 in the at-bat. 77 miles an hour on the slider. Stanfield goes down on strikes for the second time tonight.
It's a really good frame there from Weber, but nothing Stanfield can do, and he's not a guy either that's going to talk back towards the ump on a bad play, just walks towards the first base dugout, but that pitch there is definitely low and outside of the zone.
So Symes now through those 3 complete innings as Lewis comes back to the plate and fouls off the 0-0 pitch. Lewis, that leadoff home run in the second. 6-4-3 double play in the third. That did score a run, but Lewis not credited with an RBI. 0-1 breaking ball inside as the count evens. Lewis, 24 home runs this spring with North Greenville. That was their single season home run record. First team all conference at the plate and in the field. 1-1. Same pitch, same result. Ball inside on the slider. And for Lewis, as a sophomore at North Greenville, 18 home runs. Both of those years at the Division II level. 2-1, fastball outside. Now Lewis taking his talents to Blacksburg. He'll compete for both corner infield spots at Virginia Tech in his senior season. Also could play a lot of DH for the Hokies next spring. 3-1 to Lewis. Fastball below the knees, and he works a walk. Just the third that Symes has allowed here in this game. And we'll see with the lefty coming up in Michelle if that will do it. It appears it won't, and Symes, it's going to be a chance for him to get through the 5th inning. He already got the first 2 outs, the line out and the strikeout of Stanfield. And the first pitch to Michelle. Backdoor slider for a strike.
And a big spot here for the Braves. We've seen Michelle swinging a good bat. There was that strikeout along AB, but he saw Symes well.
0-1. There's a changeup at 82. It's up and out. Michelle tonight, 0 for 2. A fly out to Aiden Hill in center field, and a strikeout, the first for Symes tonight. Changeup, hard ground ball to Matt Scannell at first base. He's able to get it, step on the bag himself, and end the inning. What a job Michael Symes has done in relief. He has given up 2 earned runs, but he's given Harwich length. He's through 3 1/3 innings of relief as we head to bottom 5. The Braves still in front of the Mariners 4-1 on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Marty Chevrolet, your dealer for the people, proudly supports the Bourne Braves baseball team. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves. Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer, handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at Portside Liquors, 590A, MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story.
I'm Isaiah Jackson, and you're listening to Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay, Bourne's premier senior living community, conventionally located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us at Keystone Place at buzzardsbay.com.
Griffin Hughes back out for another inning of work as we start the bottom half of the 5th from White House Field. It's Game 2 of the Cape League Championship Series, and Bourne needs a win. They've already gotten 12 of the 27 outs they need to send this series to a Game 3 back at Dorn Park tomorrow. Griffin Hughes looking to get outs number 13, 14, and 15. He'll face 3, 4, 5 in the Harwich order. It starts with Aiden Hill. First pitch to Hill. Curveball finds the top of the zone for strike 1. Hill with 2 walks tonight. 1 in the first, 1 in the third. He's been stranded on base, however, both trips to the bases. Hughes comes back with a fastball. It misses outside. The count evens at 1. Aiden Hill, 276 this spring with VCU. Has played center field every day for Harwich down the stretch. And now takes a fastball at his knees for strike 2. Hill the last 2 years in the Appy League. Very valuable hitter. And he's going to wave and miss at the slider for strike 3. Just the 3rd strikeout of the evening for Griffin Hughes, but it's a crucial first out to begin the 5th.
And the Braves want him to get through 5 into this 5th inning and into the 6th, hopefully. Now 43 pitches for Hughes. You have a lot of guys available in the bullpen. You definitely think that Justin West, the lefty to Louisville, will be the next guy out, but you also can get some length from John Abraham and Packy Bradley Cooney.
First pitch to Weber, misses up and out. And you got to think everybody available for Bourne in terms of relievers, other than Padgett and Prince that were used yesterday. 1-0. Big swing from Weber. Can't make contact. The count evens at 1. And going back to Hughes and what he was able to do against the Harbor Hawks on Tuesday, he threw 5 innings and threw 76 pitches. 1-1 fouled over the backstop. Well, that's by far the most that Hughes had thrown throughout the summer, and the most he had thrown since mid-March with Cincinnati. Now approaching 50 pitches just 5 days later. 1-2, the sword for his 4th strikeout.
Climbs up the ladder, up and inside. That check swing from Weber, that defensive swing to result in that sword. Back-to-back there for Hughes, and settling down here. You have a long 4th inning. You got a momentum shift based on the base running of Harwich, but now you get the first 2 down.
And you know Hughes is going to want the baseball as long as he continued to have feeling in his arm in this game. First pitch to Kate Curlin misses inside. Hughes is just a warrior. He's a gamer. He wants the ball every day if that would be possible. 1-0 to Kurland. A screamer to Holcomb at the hot corner. Throw across the diamond, and that's out number 3. They call it the hot corner for a reason. Holcomb was ready for it as Griffin Hughes picks up the first 1-2-3 inning of the night for Bourne. We head to the 6th from White House Field with a 4-1 Bravo lead. You're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an event technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com, cdsreg.com, and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at 590A MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story.
I'm Chris Stanfield, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Marty Chevrolet is your dealer for the people and proudly supports Bourne Braves baseball. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves.
For Harwich from Northeastern.
Game 2 of the championship series here on Cape Cod, and we head to the top of the 6th inning here from White House Field. It's the Braves, it's the Mariners, Harwich with a 1-0 series lead, and they have their bullpen here for the second time tonight. It's the 6'8 righty out of Northeastern in Cooper McGrath for his 4th appearance of the summer.
Last time he pitched for Harwich was a week ago against the Whitecaps in the regular season finale. A pretty clean inning, no hits, no runs. He did walk one batter with 2 strikeouts. He's given up 3 earned runs in 4 1/3 innings. Limited action with Harwich. But he did start his summer, still getting reps back at home. Spent his first 4 years at Trinity College in Connecticut. Spent his senior year at Northeastern.
And he'll face the lefty and Tristan Becerra to start. First pitch grounds it up the middle. There's the shift on. Danny Dickinson behind the bag at second base, and the shortstop with the putout. He's been the Energizer Bunny here for the Mariners. He was on second base, headed to third on an infield single from Cam Maldonado, and he scored the only run. He'll have the putout as Bourne brings the 9-hitter and Blake Barthel to the plate.
And Dickinson is so fluid defensively. A real chance for him to start in LSU's middle infield this spring. And even with his speed, he could play any of the 3 outfield spots for the Tigers.
The lefty and Barthel, first pitch, he sends it to center field, but right at Aiden Hill, he moves 3 steps to his right and makes the catch for 2 quick outs on 2 pitches here from McGrath out of the pen.
This is what you want to do. You want to set the tone, pump the strike zone, pitch to contact. It's been hard contact, but that's what he's wanted so far. Becerra goes backside, Barthel goes backside. Now you have another left-handed hitter in Conrad, who has been pretty pull-heavy throughout this summer.
From the windup is McGrath. First pitch fastball, Conrad was swinging, but he fouls it out of play towards the left field stands. A 2.63 ERA at Northeastern for the righty in 27 1/3 innings pitched. Went 3-0 overall. First base side of the rubber. Rocks and deals in the 0-1 pitch. Up and outside, just clips the zone to Conrad. Quickly 0-2. Michael Symes, 3 1/3 out of the pen with 2 earned runs on 2 hits in this 4-1 game. McGrath, 0-2. Conrad drives it to center, but once again, right at Aiden Hill, does not have to move, and he makes the catch. Well, that's a quick inning there for Cooper McGrath in top 6. He keeps it where it is. No hits, no base runners for the Braves, and no runs in the top half. We head to the bottom half here from White House Field in game number 2 of the championship series.
Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is Bourne's premier senior living community, conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us today at Keystone Place at buzzardsbay.com. Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an events technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of Cape Cod baseball. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Hello, I'm Cam Kojal, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Welcome back to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network on this Sunday night from White House Field, and it does not get much better. The weather at an all-time high, and it's the Braves and the Mariners, Game 2 of the Cape League Championship Series. Bourne a 4-1 lead. Harwich gets one back in that fourth inning. Both teams scoreless in the fifth, as Harwich brings Matt Scannell, Danny Dickinson, and Michael Anderson to the plate. Griffin Hughes back on the mound in relief. 2 2/3 so far, and he's been solid on the Braves, looking for that extension.
And he's retired the last 4 batters that he's faced. 2 groundouts to Holcomb, 2 strikeouts. Now facing the bottom half of this Harwich order, a chance to get through 3 2/3 innings, and what would be another crucial long relief appearance.
First pitch to the lefty, and Matt Scannell's in the attic. The 6-hitter in Scannell, the righty in Dickinson in the 7 spot, and Michael Anderson, another righty in the 8 spot. Hughes from the windup. Curveball drops in the bucket. It's a 1-1 count. Scannell's 0 for 2. A screamer to center field on the line out, and a ground out to shortstop back in the 4th. As the wide stance back in the box, Hughes 1-1. Scannell shows bunt, and the curveball just misses low and out. Hughes loves that fastball. Heavy throw with that, but the curveball has been a really good pitch here to work backwards. 2-1 pitch, dives in on the fastball. It's fouled out of play from Scannell. In the postseason for the senior out of Wake, 2 for 14 coming in. Was 1 for 5 with a 2-run single last night in the Harwich victory 7-3 over Bourne. Hughes glove at the face. His 2-2 pitch. Curveball's popped up high in the air behind home plate. Here comes Meggers right in front of us by the fence. He dives. Did he make the play? They did. Chris Engstred was inches in front of us. Chase Meggers diving into the fence that is against our broadcast table. He holds on. What a play for out number 1.
Meggers putting his body on the line, doing anything he can to catch that baseball, knowing he's going to crash into the fence. He was legitimately 2 feet away from us, broadcasting along the first base side. What a play right there by Meggers.
Here's the righty and Danny Dickinson up and inside. The heater almost clipped him. Meggers sprinting over a haul all the way over here. It's such a big backstop at White House Field. Slams into the fence and makes the catch. 1-0 to Dickinson. Fouls it out of play. The Braves a 4-1 lead. It's elimination baseball for them after losing last night. Looking to force a Game 3 at home tomorrow night. Hughes transferring to the U. His 1-1 pitch. Curveball. Left field high in the air. Very shallow. Becerra comes in, slows up, and makes the catch on the right side of his body for out number 2.
And even bigger to get Dickinson out because you get his speed and tenacity off the bases. We saw what he was able to do yesterday with the 2 stolen bases. That set up an RBI chance for making Winslow in the 2nd inning. And then in that 4th inning on the ground ball by Maldonado to the right side, Dickinson scores all the way from second base. It provides energy to this Harwich dugout, the fan base, and gave Harwich their first run. And now we'll see a pinch hitter for the Mariners.
So Harwich goes to their bench here. And they'll make that change on the offensive side. And they've had a few guys not have appearances this summer. But they'll bring in Ryan Weingartner, the shortstop. He was the everyday leadoff hitter for Harwich during the regular season. This is the first time that he'll play here in the postseason. 31 games during regular season play, was 19 for 93. Had 2 doubles and 4 home runs. And his Harwich squad, the reason they've been so good is the adjustments, the additions. Weingartner was an everyday guy. as he'll step in here with 2 down, replacing Michael Anderson at the DH spot.
And the big thing for Weingartner, it was Dickinson going into that shortstop spot, Curlin taking over at second base to limit the playing time.
First pitch to the righty. It's spiked in front of home plate. Did have 29 walks on 33 strikeouts, also stole 10 bases, but an on-base percentage, 3 ticks under 400.
Which led the team.
As Hughes, the 1-0 pitch. Fastball, kneecap level, it's low. Him and Michael Anderson, the 2 guys to not make an appearance, play here tonight. Anderson now subbed out for the shortstop. 2-0 to Weingartner. Up and inside, 3 straight balls.
And there's only one other player for Harwich that has yet to play this postseason. It was Tommy Barth, the rising senior out of Kansas.
Hughes, 3-0, down Main Street on the heater at 91. Barth, the rising junior out of Kansas, did hit 276 during regular season play.
But with the additions of Robbins and Hill in left and center, just no room for Barth to see action in postseason baseball.
3-1, fouled back from Weingartner. What Robbins and Hill have brought to the table. There are 7 games in the regular season, both well above 300 hitters. Hughes looking for a 1-2-3 for back-to-back innings here in bottom 6. 4-1 Bourne. 3-2, 2 away. Here's the payoff pitch. Low and outside, it's ball 4. Good frame from Meggers. The fastball just misses from Hughes, and it's a 2-out base runner.
The walks continue to be an issue for Hughes, and when he works so fast, sometimes he just gets ahead of himself a little bit, and it's really been only 2 times this summer where he's struggled. Ironically enough, both have come here at White House Field against the Mariners. All the way back on the 18th of June, he gave up 4 earned runs in 2 2/3 innings. No walks in that one, but here today, 1 earned run with 3 walks.
Here's Jake Ogden, the 9-hitter. First pitch to the righty. It's in there on the curveball off the knees. 1 for 1 is Ogden. A single back in the 3rd, walked and stranded at second base in the 4th. Hughes from the stretch, middle of the rubber. Stands tall. 0-1 fastball, fouled out of play first base side. And he's 1 strike away from working out of this once again. Hughes looking to finish off this 6th inning of work. The bullpen, a lot of options for Scott Landers heading into the final 3 frames. Number 12 sets up. 2-step lead for Weingartner. 0-2, upstairs, the sword. Probably a foot above the head of Jake Ogden. He went around on a defensive swing. Engstrand said he did, and it's the 5th punch out for Griffin Hughes, his 2nd sword here of the night. And we get through 6 here from White House Field. The Braves, the defending champs in elimination baseball, ahead of the Mariners, 4-1. Game number 2 of the Cape League Championship Series. It's the Bourne Braves looking to three-peat, and the Harwich Mariners looking for their first title since 2011. Bourne with a 4-1 lead here as we enter the top of the 7th inning. Alongside Nathan Schwartz, Cam Manna with you, and Merrick Houston to the plate. It's 2-3-4 for the Braves. Cooper McGrath on the mound for his 2nd inning of work out of the pen. The 6'8 righty rocks and deals from the windup, and the first pitch to Houston is above the Braves' red letters. Houston 0 for 3. A pair of flyouts and a ground down for the Demon Deacon shortstop. McGrath first base side of the rubber. 1-0 curve. In there.
And Houston trying to extend this on base streak that's dated back to his return from Team USA, a 20-game on base streak for the Demon Deacon.
1-1. Houston fouls it out of play, that long righty swing. 0 for 3 last night, but did have the walk. Came in 6 for 18 here in the playoffs with 2 RBIs. 1 extra base hit as well. Chokes up back of the box, his 2-strike approach. McGrath's 1-2 pitch. Houston lines it to center field, laced at Hill, but once again, the center fielder does not have to move a muscle for the second consecutive inning.
These Bourne players scoring at the baseball right now. That's 3 straight hard fly ball outs to Aiden Hill in center, and he's doing it the most nonchalant way as possible.
Getting help from McGrath, just right at him. Just outfield work and some practice into the mitt of Aiden Hill. Played at VCU this spring, and he's been a big factor in this Harwich lineup. Here's the tall righty and Braden Holcomb. First pitch curve, just swarms outside. Holcomb singled on a pitch that was 90 miles per hour. Holcomb sent it back to center field at 103 back in the first. Has scored 2 runs, hit by a pitch in the third. 1-0 to the backstop. He was 0 for 10 in the West Division Finals, but turned it around last night. 3 for 5 in RBI, 2 runs, a double as well. That's the Braden Holcomb that these Braves fans know in the regular season. McGrath 2-0 pitch, the slider way outside, and 3-0 here to Braden.
In that 3-hit day yesterday, his 15th multi-hit game of the summer, picking up where he left off to end the regular season, where he hit 500 over the last 6 games.
3-0. Down Main Street, Holcomb had the take side. But the Braves scored first in the first, 3 consecutive runs. Now leading 4-1, and Bourne 16-0-1 when they score first in their last 25. 3-1 pitch, Holcomb fouls off the fastball, let her high. It's a full count. And 1-8 when they do not. And last night, one of those 8 losses. Harwich up early 1-0. They did not look back in the 7-3 win. McGrath, 3-2, fires it in. Holcomb a chopper at shortstop. Dickinson, level high, fires to first, and he makes the play. Danny Dickinson has been the engine tonight on the Harwich side. He scored their only run and has made a lot of smooth, silky smooth plays at shortstop.
He's been the defensive mastermind, the wizard at that shortstop position these last couple of games. It seemed like once or twice an inning yesterday he was getting a chance to make a play, and down the stretch here today, a lot more plays for him.
Here's the lefty Chase Meggers. First pitch, he fouls it way out of play down the left field line. Meggers got things going in the first, an RBI triple off the right center field fence. Walked back in the third and a line out at second base in the 5th. Has been seeing the ball well. First time he faces McGrath. The righty's 0-1 pitch, the heater, fouled back as Meggers there just knobbed on the inner half.
And this Bourne offense has gone radio silent in the last 11 batters as Coop the Bat Boy wins another race behind the plate. But this stat right here, Bourne has gotten 10 of the last 11 guys retired.
0-2, Meggers fouls it off on the curveball low. It was the 2 Bat Boys for both sides. Coop is a fan favorite for the Braves. He beats out the Harwich Bat Boy. That was a big deal in the opening round for the Braves against Hyannis, which feels so long ago. That was the wild card round. The Braves win in a 3-game set against the Cats in the West Finals, and now Game 2 here against Harwich in the Championship Series. 4-1 Bourne here in top 7, 0-2 away. McGrath to Meggers. Here's the pitch. Screamed down the right field line, but way foul. Meggers just turned on that pitch. He's been great here in this postseason for the Braves. Now 5 hits on 2 RBIs. Another 0-2 pitch. Meggers, blooper, right up the middle. Here comes Dickinson at shortstop. He makes the play. He was shifted behind the second base bag. He runs into the mound to make the catch for out number 3. We've been through 6.5 here from White House Field. It's Game 2 of the Championship Series. The Braves a 4-1 lead. We'll stretch it out. Bottom 7 coming up.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team.
Safe.
The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
When you need to dig, lift, move, cut, or just about anything else, then dial up the Rental Source staffed with equipment and construction experts. They'll help you get the right machine for the job and make sure it's delivered when and where you need it. With locations across New England and the newest and most reliable inventory, Milton Rents is your local source.
We've stretched it out here from White House Field on this Sunday night. Game number 2 of the Cape League Championship Series, and the Braves need 9 outs to send this to a game number 3 tomorrow night at Dorn Park. And Griffin Hughes back on the mound here for the Braves. Scott Landers trusting the righty, 3 2/3 so far, and he's going to go as much as he can. Nathan alluded to it earlier. He's going to go till he really can.
He's going to pitch until he has no feeling in that arm or until Scott Landers says, okay, I've seen enough, but Hughes is going to plead to stay in this game as long as he can. He's gone 3 2/3 to start. The walks have been a little bit of an issue, but only 1 hit allowed, 5 strikeouts, and in the last 2 frames, he's only given up 1 base runner.
He'll face the top of the order. A Braves 4-1 lead. First pitch to Maldonado is low and outside. Hughes has retired 6 of the last 7. 3 via the punch out, 5 for Hughes out of the pen. Maldonado, the tall righty. 1-0. Inside corner, it dips low. The junior out of Northeastern, 2 for 3 in RBI, and that was a big one on an infield single back in the 4th. Head first slide into first base. As the 2-0 belt high, it's 2-1. Maldonado slid in. Danny Dickinson went from second to third, stood up, and came home. Head first slide safely on the late throw from David Lewis. 2-1 pitch, way outside. No chance for Meggers to frame that one. It's 3-1.
In that sequence, the only offense that Harwich has been able to produce in this game, too.
Only 4 hits for the Mariners. 3-1. Maldonado skies it right field into foul territory. Conrad sprints over, but it's into the Braves bullpen. And then 6 hits for the Braves. They scored in every inning to begin. 1 run in each inning through the 4th. They have not scored since. Harwich their only run in bottom 4. Hughes, glove at his face, loves to move quick. 3-2, fouled off and off the mid of Chase Meggers. Usually the righty out of Miami and Hughes waits about 4 to 5 seconds on that pitch clock to get ready and set to go. He'll ask for a new baseball right here from Chris Angstred, the home plate umpire. Chase Meggers takes a long look at this baseball, and now he finally throws it back.
But Hughes works at a very similar pace that Tyler Fay does. Fay's a little bit quicker, usually only wastes about 3 seconds. Hughes anywhere in the 4 to 5 to 6 second range between pitches.
Fay, the 6'6 righty out of Alabama. Could see him tomorrow if there's a game 3. Hughes, another 3-2 pitch. Fastball fouled out of play. Goes back letter high on the heater. 8th pitch of the AB coming up. It will be the 74th pitch very soon here for Hughes. And 42 of those have been strikes for the righty.
And the 4th 8+ pitch at bat that Maldonado's had in this series.
Here's that pitch right here. Maldonado, line drive center field. It's into the gap as Stanfield cuts it off. The 5th hit for the Mariners, 3 for Cam Maldonado here tonight. And it's a leadoff base runner, something this Harwich team has had only once here tonight.
It's been a one-man wrecking crew for the Mariners tonight. Maldonado, what a bounce back he's having tonight after that 0 for 5 day yesterday in that leadoff spot. Now 4 trips to the plate tonight, 3 singles.
This Mariners squad, first time in the finals since 2019. They have not won since 2011. Sub 500 in the regular season. They were 2-11 at one point in July, but have now won 5 straight to this point. Here's Aiden Robbins. First pitch to the left fielder is way up and outside. This Mariners squad blazing hot. 11-18 since July 4th with 10 wins in their last 12. Maldonado off first.
1-0 to Robbins. Skies at first base side, foul territory. David Lewis backpedals, now spins the hips, calls it, gets to a knee, and then drops the baseball. Off his glove, leaning towards his backhand, and he wants that one back. It will now be a 1-1 count.
And for Lewis right there, while he's calling it, it still never seemed like he was truly confident in having vision of that ball. Last second, he waves the arms, and then it kind of just dips on him. You wonder if he lost it in the lights maybe. And we talk about the little things. That could be crucial for Bourne and Harwich in this inning.
1-1 to Robbins. Ground ball up the middle, could be two. Houston gets it at shortstop, steps on the bag, throws to first. Lewis holds on the snow cone. A 6-3 double play. Merrick Houston helps out David Lewis on the foul ball in foul territory. And the Braves put two down on a fantastic play up the middle of the infield.
And great awareness by Merrick Houston right there to take that himself. He could have flipped to Barthel. It would have just taken more time. Houston able to make that laser of a throw. And Lewis with the redemption. He had to get off the ground a little bit to make that play.
Here's the lefty, Aiden Hill. First pitch was low and inside. Lewis going to his left side, had to stretch out to make that play and held on at the top of his webbing. Hill's 0 for 1, 2 walks here tonight. 1-0 pitch to him. It's in the dirt. We talked about the putouts last half inning. 4 in the last 2 towards Aiden Hill in center field. Struck out back in the 5th. That was the 3rd of the 5 for Griffin Hughes. Ahead 2-0 from the windup the pitch. Fouled out of play. A fastball that was about shin high. 4-1 Bourne here in bottom 7 from White House Field. The Mariners looking to come back and win the title in front of their home crowd. The Braves looking to send it back to Dorn Park tomorrow. 2-1. Change up is low in the zone. Hill holds off.
Now for Hughes, he's thrown 4 pitches in this at-bat. He's up to 78 pitches overall. That's more than he threw on Tuesday in the one-game playoff.
3-1. Low and inside. 90 on the heater and slipping off the mound. We mentioned it earlier. Usually the Braves, their schedule for pitchers is 7 days. It's only been 5 for Hughes.
The catcher from Oregon State.
And now a runner on here with 2 down. As Wilson Weber steps in, Hughes also punched out Weber in a back-to-back situation of Hill and Weber in the 5th.
Now for Hughes, just looking to get another ground ball. But Weber has struck out twice here today, once against Hughes back in the 5th.
And he singled back in the 1st on a 1-for-3 night. First pitch to the righty, chin music up and inside. Out of Oregon State is Weber, hit .276 this past spring. 3 multi-hit games here in the postseason, 7 for 16 coming in. Got that 8th hit in the 1st. Waves the bat in front of his face, 1-0. Big hack and a miss. Power on power. Hughes up to 93 there on the outside corner.
And that velocity ticking a little bit upwards here. It was at 89.90 to begin the inning. He's giving everything he has in bottom 7.
1-1. That curveball's low in the zone. Weber holding off. Hill off first base. He's that 2-out walk. Harwich trailing 4-1. The walks have been the issue for Griffin Hughes in this one in that department. Hughes has walked 4 now tonight on 5 strikeouts. 2-1 to Weber. Cannot paint on the outer half. Neggers wanted it. Stood up in disbelief. He'll ask Chris Angstrom where it was. Now a 3-1 count. Harwich looking for yet another rally with 2 down. Hill 3 steps off first base. Hughes from the stretch, first base side of the rubber. 3-1. Fastball. Outside. And it's going to be ball 4. Everybody for a second, I think, forgot about the count. Even the batter there in Wilson Weber. He's about to step back in for some more practice swings. He'll take first base. It's 1st and 2nd with 2 down.
And a 50-50 call right there on the outside corner by Chris Engstrom, our home plate umpire. That pitch has been called a strike throughout this game, but Hughes doesn't get the call, and now Curlin, the batter, represents the tying run for Harwich.
And the Harwich fans now scooch up on the edge of their seats as Scott Landers, he comes out of the dugout, screaming towards Chris Angstrom, the home plate umpire, telling him that's a strike. Not a ball. Saying that's a bad call. Scott Landers yelling towards Chris Angstrom all the way to the mound to talk to Griffin Hughes as he kicks some dirt. And Hughes here looking to work through this. He is about to throw his 88th pitch of this outing. And Landers, about 3 words to Hughes, walks off the mound. And in such a big spot here, Nathan just mentioned it, Cade Curlin with some home run power too. He's that tying run. Had a home run against the Braves back on July 15th. That was at Bourne Park. It was a solo blast.
And all Scott Landers did there was go out, tell Griffin Hughes, you got this, I'm leaving you in this game. Gave him 2 pats on the back of the head, told him to go get him. Let's see if Hughes can get this 3rd out against Curlin.
Bottom 7, 4-1 Braves, 2 on for Harwich with 2 down. First pitch to the righty in Curlin. Skies it to right field. Down the line. Conrad comes in towards the foul line and makes the catch. Sigh of relief for the Braves. Griffin Hughes, stone cold off the mound, pointing towards Ethan Conrad. He'll head to the dugout, and he finishes off the 7th inning. Harwich strands 2 on 2 walks, and the Braves bring a 4-1 lead to top 8 in elimination baseball here from White House Field.
Marty Chevrolet, your dealer for the people, proudly supports the Bourne Braves baseball team. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves. Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer, handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at Portside Liquors, 590A, MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story.
4-1 Braves. We head to the 8th here from White House Field. It's game number 2 of the Cape League Championship Series. Game 2 at Harwich. Game 3 could be back at Bourne Park if the Braves hold on. As Chris Stanfield, the outfielder at LSU, who's been here since June 15th, walks to the plate and steps in to face Cooper McGrath. Out there for his 3rd inning of work out of the pen. First pitch from the righty. Darts in on the outer half for a strike.
And what a moment for Stanfield, getting to play for a championship. Last year was with Bourne, but didn't play in the postseason.
Stands tall back of the box. 0-1 pitch. Stanfield almost bites at the slider. Holds back. It's 1-1. He singled back in the 3rd. 2 strikeouts. Jammed between that single. McGrath at 6'8". 1-1. Up and inside, just clips the zone. It's a 1-2 count. Scott Landers was not happy last inning on a 3-2 pitch from Hughes that was called ball 4, and he's still chirping down the 3rd base line.
And rightfully so. A lot of these pitches missing for Engstrand.
McGrath's 1-2, way outside on a good scoop from Wilson Weber. Stanfield came in 5 for 14 here in the postseason. A team lead, 5 RBIs and 5 runs. Looking to lead off the Braves here in top 8. 2-2, look out. Up and down the hands there from Stanfield. Dances out of the way. And it's a 3-2 pitch coming here from McGrath. The 3rd pitcher of the night. It was Evans and Symes. They barely went 4 innings together. 3-2, called strike 3. The slider drops in and clips the outside corner. Stanfield with some words for Chris Engstrand. It's the 2nd time in back-to-back ABs for Stanfield. He goes down looking on borderline calls.
And this is the same exact spot where Griffin Hughes did not get a call in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Both Landers and Stanfield had every right to be upset with that call.
It's one thing if you're consistent, but that one in a similar spot as Nathan alluded to. Here's David Lewis. First pitch to the righty. He's way out in front of that slider. And back away at 80 miles per hour is McGrath. Lewis had the solo shot in the 2nd. RBI ground out back in the 3rd and a walk as well. 0-1. Lewis sends it to right center field. Here comes Hill towards the gap, and it's going to drop down for a hit. multi-hit game here for David Lewis. It's a one-out base runner for the Bravos as they look to extend.
David Lewis just continues to provide. That's his 4th multi-hit game of this summer for Bourne. Started out this summer in the Coastal Plain League, has come into the Cape and taken the league by storm.
Brings up Garrett Michelle, a fan favorite here for the Braves. You hear all the kids sprinting in here to see Michelle swing, and he wants to change it. 0 for 3 is Michelle so far tonight. First pitch, Michelle skies it down the left field line and foul. Michelle struck out back in the 3rd, 3 unassisted back in the 5th inning. But a big night last night, 3 for 5, as 2 Braves with 3 hits. Michelle had an RBI and a double as well against the Mariners. Has Lewis off first base. McGrath on the stretch. The pitch is up and outside, as about 8 to 10 kids are up the grandstands here on the first base side with a Let's Go Braves chants and cheering on Garrett Michelle, who's here for his 2nd summer. He had 300 in the postseason last summer. 1-1, up and outside. 2-1 now to Michelle.
And when we talk about the Bourne community coming out to support their team, this is what we mean, and it starts from a young age.
Michelle's been such a valuable leader. People have looked up to Michelle since day 1 of last summer. 2-1 pitch, led her high. It's a called strike. Away once again is McGrath. It's a 2-2 count with 1 down. Lewis had that single. It's the Braves' 7th hit of the night. He's off first base with Scannell holding him on. And the shortstop at Dickinson is up the middle on the right side of the second base bag. McGrath's 2-2, way up top. Michelle holds off. Michelle forced 18 walks in the regular season. A .339 on base percentage, but no walks just yet here in playoff baseball. Lewis just a half-step lead off the bag. 3-2-1 down, the pitch from McGrath. Inside it misses. Michelle throws his hands in the air and chucks his bat first base side. It's 1st and 2nd here for Bourne, and Tristan Becerra, another lefty for Bourne, steps in.
And I love that for Michelle, even though that similar spot has been called a strike for Bourne throughout this game. Michelle, knowing that he's not going to swing at that pitch if he doesn't like it, he decides to remain patient, and it works out as Bourne gets another base runner on, trying to score for the first time since the 4th inning.
And it was consecutive runs, 1 in every inning, 1 through 4. The lefty out of Clemson in Becerra had a double back in the 4th inning. First pitch. Big hack, swings through the fastball that was down the middle as more and more fans crawl in towards the first base grandstands, cheering on Becerra. Walked back in the 2nd inning, a ground ball back in the 6th as McGrath steps up from the stretch. 0-1. Becerra skies it, shallow left center field. Shading over in left is Robbins. Hill comes over. They can't find the baseball. It drops down for a hit. Rounding third base is Lewis. He's going to come in and score. Michelle to third base. Tristan Becerra, Houdini, drops it into the left center field gap. It's an RBI double, and Bourne leads 5-1 here in top 8.
A little help never hurt nobody. And for Bourne right there, Aiden Robbins had no idea where that baseball was in the left center field gap. He's able to communicate that immediately to Aiden Hill, who has a ton of speed in center. Hill tries his best to get over there because he saw it the entire way, but it falls right in front of him. Lewis scores from second, and Bourne gets on the board for the first time in 4 innings.
And the infield fully in here. Top 8 in Game 2 of the championship series. It's 5-1 Bourne with second and third. Blake Barthel doubled back in the second. First pitch to the lefty. He fouls out of play down the third base line. Struck out as well as Barthel in the 4th, but it was on a 12-pitch AB. And then a deep line out in the 6th. Harwich needs an out right here. 1 down, McGrath to the windup. And the 0-1 to Barthel. Up and inside. Now 8 hits for Bourne, and Becerra just dropping that one in. It's his first RBI of the postseason in his 6th appearance. Was 0 for 1 last night in a pinch hitting chance. 1-1 to Barthel. Clips it back. Bourne striking first. We'll say it time and time again. 16 wins, no losses, 1 tie in your last 25 when you do that. It's been the recipe for success for Scott Landers and his Braves order. 2 on, 1 down. 1-2 to Barthel. Pops it up, third base line, sails out of play.
And what a turnaround for Bourne in this 8th inning. They had 11 out of 12 retired in a row to begin the inning. Then Stanfield goes down to make that 12 with the last 13. Then Lewis gets the first hit for Bourne since Becetta's double in the 4th inning. And now a string of 3 straight base runners with Lewis's single, the walk from Michelle, and the double by Becetta.
Blake Barthel digging back in. Another long AB. Here's the 5th pitch. 1-2. And Barthel fouls it off. And a lot of emotion in the box for Barthel, telling himself, come on, once that pitch back. Every pitch so far in this AB has been elevated, letter high in the zone to Barthel. That one in the same exact spot. McGrath's gone there. Another 1-2 from the 6'8 righty with 2 on. Barthel lines it down the first baseline, but it's foul. That 6th inning, the lineout was on the 2nd pitch for Barthel, but back in the 4th, that 12-pitch AB that he lost the battle of went down looking.
And he had 6 foul balls in that at-bat. Already has 5 foul balls in this AB.
7th pitch, 1-2. Barthel swing and a miss. Snap throw to second. Drop from Dickinson. Michelle not leaving third as Becetta's back. But Barthel, another good AB. He loses the battle. And that'll be the 5th punch out for Cooper McGrath. There's 2 down, and it's the top of the order in Ethan Conrad.
Again, Barthel doing a great job of fighting, but ultimately striking out. Now Conrad looking to be another hero for Bourne tonight.
First pitch to Conrad. Pops it up third base side, high in the air. Does Ogden have room towards the wall? He does not. It just clips out of play over the tall fencing. 5-1 Bourne here in top 8. They got 1 run in this inning so far, and Tristan Becetta's RBI double. Conrad has reached base twice, no hits so far. Hit by a pitch and walked, and stole 2 bags. The Demon Deacon stands tall. McGrath 0-1, and Conrad same spot, fouling it out of play. There's 2 out RBIs. Bourne had 29 coming in. They picked up their 30th very early in this one. The runners in scoring position was an issue. Their last 4 games into this one, 8 for 41 in that department. The Braves tonight have done just a little bit better, but still 2 for 10. 0-2. Conrad, left center field. This one is going to drop down for a hit. Michelle scores. Here comes Becetta. He's in there. If you need insurance, you call Ethan Conrad. The Braves a 7-1 lead here in the top of the 8th inning. And Ethan Conrad does it with a big swing.
And a perfect time to keep the hitting streak alive. Now up to 19 games for Bourne's leadoff man, their right fielder, their best hitter throughout the entire season. Now giving them 2 crucial insurance runs to have a 3 spot in top 8.
7-1 here in Game 2 of the championship series. Here's the righty and Merrick Houston. McGrath back to the stretch, the slide step, and the slider is up and outside. Conrad just blooping it in there. Aiden Hill, the center fielder, just in front of him. And a good jump with 2 down for Michelle and Becetta to both score. Conrad off first with a 3-step lead. Has 2 stolen bags tonight. Not going. 1-0 to Houston. Knobs at first base side. Tough play for Curlin. Shades over at second. Throw to first. Not in time. Houston speeding down the line. His first hit here tonight keeps his on-base streak alive. Him and Conrad both saving streaks. And it's first and second, 2 down.
And I love talking about these streaks. Took the words right out of my mouth there, Cam. But now 21 straight games for Merrick Houston where he's reached base. The only time this season that he hasn't reached base was a 6-0 win over Hyannis back on July 12th. What a season it's been for Houston. Even when he's not getting the big hits, he's still finding ways to help this offense.
And here's the big man in Braden Holcomb. Into the righty's batter's box with first and second. First pitch, he chops it foul into the Harwich dugout. But Bourne, 3 consecutive base runners with 1 down. Tristan Becetta's RBI double. Barthel goes down swinging, but Conrad and Houston back-to-back hits. And Conrad drives in 2. Braden Holcomb, 1 for 3 here tonight, has reached base twice and scored twice. Was hit by a pitch back in the third. McGrath, 2 looks at second at Conrad, dancing around. 0-1. Holcomb, a laser left side. Dickinson there at shortstop, lost the baseball, now throws, and Holcomb beats it out. It's a base running clinic down the line for the Braves. Danny Dickinson couldn't hold on to the baseball at first, and Holcomb beats it out.
And this is very reminiscent of an inning that Bourne had back on the 23rd. The last time that we were here at White House Field, it was the 5th inning in that game when Bourne scored 7 runs on 5 hits.
Here's the lefty Chase Meggers. He fouls off the first pitch. But now you have the infield singles, 2 consecutive here for the Braves. Now 11 hits here tonight. They had 13 last night on only 3 runs. Bases juiced, 0-1 to Meggers. Fouls off the elevated heater. A 6-run Braves lead. The defending champs looking to three-peat and send it back to Dorn Park tomorrow night for a Game 3. McGrath to the windup. It's been a long top 8. 0-2 to Meggers. Ground ball up the middle. Dickinson's there behind the bag. Steps on second and ends the inning. But Conrad and Becerra come up big. A 3-spot in top 8 for Bourne with their backs against the wall here on the road. It's 7-1 Bravos. We head to bottom 8 here from White House Fields.
Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay, Bourne's premier senior living community, conventionally located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us at Keystone Place at buzzardsbay.com.
I'm Isaiah Jackson, and you're listening to Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an event technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com, cdsreg.com, and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at 590A MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story.
A 3-spot in the top half of the 8th inning for the Braves offense gives them a 7-1 lead in Game 2 of the Cape League Championship Series as the Bravos 6 outs away from sending this to a Game 3 tomorrow night in Bourne as the Braves go to their bullpen for the second time tonight. Griffin Hughes, fantastic once again in relief. 4 2/3, 2 hits of 1-run baseball. He struck out 5, and he'll give way to the lefty out of Louisville in Justin West, who appeared against the Kettleers back in the 7th in Game 1. 2 innings of work on 1 hit, 2 walks and no strikeouts, but 25 strikeouts to 6 walks during the regular season with an even 3 ERA. 6, 7, 8, 9. Here's the lefty to begin in Matt Scannell. First pitch above the zone. As West brings that fastball, it's not going to be high in velocity, but the curveball, that 12-6, can get to 68 miles per hour. Loops in there and surprises hitters. 1-0, it's in there for a strike in the inner half.
It's that big difference in velocity, 20 miles an hour between the fastball and the curveball, and then every once in a while, he'll dip in a changeup.
His 1-1 pitch to Scannell. There's that looping curve at 70 miles per hour. It's 1-2. Scannell's 0 for 3. A pop out, a ground down, and a line out as well tonight for the senior out of Wake Forest. 1-2, another looping curve, and it just hangs above the zone. That one at 68 miles per hour.
And Alfred West able to pitch in a non-leverage situation, up by 6 runs. You have some cushion, but you just got to pitch your game.
2-2. That curveball's grounded right side. Barthel backhands at second. Throws to first. What a play! Blake Barthel coming in. The sidearm sling. And Bourne now 5 outs away.
The defense for Bourne in this game has simply been spectacular, and it all started in that bottom half of the first inning with that sliding play in left field by Becerra. And ever since then, there's been great plays by Merrick Houston at short, Holcomb at third, now Barthel joining the action at second.
Danny Dickinson, on-base machine tonight. First pitch to the righty. Does not clip the outside half from West's fastball. Hit by a pitch in the second, walked in the fourth. He's the only run, and he didn't score really on a true RBI. As West's 1-0, darts inside, it's 2-0. Infield single from Maldonado, slides in safely to first base. Dickinson from second to third, comes home on a head-first slide, extending it. Practically stole the bag. West from the windup, 2-0. Fastball fouled back off the fencing. This Bourne squad is so good in elimination games. It was just their second loss in 11 games since 2021 last night. And a team with 18 wins and 8 losses in playoff baseball since 2021. West, 2-1 pitch. Spiked low in the heater. It's 3-1.
And for Bourne, closing in on giving Harwich their first loss of this postseason. Huge for Bourne to get this response in an elimination game.
3-1. Outside corner, a called strike. It's full. The last team to go undefeated in the playoffs was Brewster back in 2021. They went 4-0. The Mariners had a chance to do it here tonight if they could close out. But Bourne a 7-1 lead. And West, 3-2. Line drive center field right back where it came from. Really been a 1-2-man show for Harwich. The 3 hits from Maldonado, the first for Dickinson. He has scored the only run, and it's a 1-out base runner for Harwich in bottom 8.
And for Dickinson now has reached base 5 times in this series alone. 2 walks yesterday, the hit by pitch in the second tonight, a walk in the fourth where he scored from second on that infield single by Maldonado, and now a 1-out single in the 8th. And you're right, Cam, it's been that 2-man crew of Maldonado and Dickinson doing all the offense for the Mariners tonight.
Brings up Ryan Weingartner. First pitch low and inside. Pinch hit for Anderson back in the 6th, then he walked. Only base runner in that inning, as Anderson was 0 for 2 in his first playoff appearance with 2 strikeouts. Both righties, though. West from the stretch, 2 looks at first, a slide step, and the fastball skips into home plate. West faced off against Harwich back on the 18th of June, just 1 1/3 innings pitched and 2 earned runs. One of his rockiest outings as the Braves lost here early on at White House Field. 2-0. Weingartner skies the pitch, shallow right field. Conrad in, calls off, and makes the catch leaning to his right side for out number 2.
And back to that first outing back on June 18th. It was a 10-2 Harwich victory. Both teams were still trying to find their footing. Harwich was getting off to a hot start. Bourne won the opening day, of course. Then the Harwich game was their 3rd straight loss. And ironically enough, it was Hugus and West that struggled in that game. And now here they are nearly 2 months later, proving why one game shouldn't matter for your overall season performance.
Here's Jake Ogden with 2 down. Curveball from West does not hit the zone. Hugus 4 2/3, went 5 innings in his first outing. He's really been the pitcher of the playoffs for the Braves out of the bullpen. As Justin West here in that second appearance, an all-star for Bourne. And looking to work through this 8th inning with the Bravos a 7-1 lead. 11 hits. Did have 13 last night, but have converted and have done the little things. That's been the story. 2-step lead for Dickinson. 1-0 pitch to Ogden. Fouled out of play first base side as some kids chase after the baseball. Very packed night here from White House Field. Harwich waiting for a championship appearance since 2019. The fans packed in for Game 2 as the Mariners expected to celebrate here tonight. 1-1 pitch, way in the attic from West as Meggers walks out to calm him down on a 2-1.
And it almost seems like this Bourne team just plays better when their backs are against the wall. There's more stakes. They know they have to win. And in this case, they know they wanted to get back home and play one last game at home.
West from the stretch, 2-1 pitch, up the ladder, a swing and a miss from Ogden. He went chasing, expanded the zone. And that loss last night for the Braves truly woke them up. The atmosphere, the vibes were different during batting practice. Bourne came in here with a different motivation, knowing their season was on the line. 2-2, 2 down. And the pitch is chopped in the box from Ogden off of the catcher in Meggers. We'll do another pitch.
And sometimes it just takes a punch to the jaw to really feel the gravity of the situation. It seems like yesterday Bourne came into that game riding the high of the back-to-back wins at the end of the Katuitt series. They came out flat. Harwich had the day off. They came ready to play. And even crazier, Bourne had the chance to take their time with batting practice yesterday. Harwich was show and go, and it just was the opposite of what you expected. But now it's flipped in Game 2.
West looking to end the 8th. 2-2, clipped back. Another long AB. 7th pitch coming here from West to Jake Ogden. Ogden's 1 for 2, singled back in the 2nd, a walk in the 4th inning. Stranded both times. Biggest difference here for the Mariners tonight. They have left 10 runners on base, could be 11, 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. They've taken that virus away from the Braves. 2-2, popped up. High in the night sky, first base side, foul territory. Here's Lewis to a knee. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did! Some defensive web gems here in the 8th. David Lewis diving down, battling the darkness, and makes the play with about a centimeter of room towards the grass. We get through 8 here from White House Field in Game 2 of the championship series. Bourne with a 7-1 lead as we head to the 9th.
Marty Chevrolet is your dealer for the people and proudly supports Bourne Braves baseball. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves. Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is Bourne's premier senior living community, conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us today at Keystone Place at buzzardsbay.com. Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an events technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of Cape Cod baseball. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Bourne, a chance for some insurance as we enter the 9th inning here from White House Field. Game 2 of the Cape League Championship Series as the Bravos with a 6-run lead over Harwich with their backs against the wall. As the Mariners go back to their bullpen, Cooper McGrath is done. It's Josh LaJoie out of Quinnipiac making his 2nd appearance.
And he's transferring in from Lipscomb, where he spent the last 3 seasons. Didn't play in 2022 or 2023, but made 5 appearances this past spring. Gave up 3 earned runs in 3 1/3 innings.
And just 73 pitches thrown throughout that whole entire spring. For Harwich, the 1 inning, 2 hits, and 1 earned run, and 1 strikeout for him. That's all it's been. As the Braves look for insurance, 5, 6, 7 in their order. Here's the righty Chris Stanfield. Top 9 underway. And LaJoie's first pitch, fastball inside corner for a strike. Stanfield, 3 strikeouts and a single here tonight. Has went down looking in back-to-back ABs on borderline calls he's not been happy with. LaJoie from the windup. Rocks and deals in the 0-1 pitch. Slider swing and a miss from Stanfield, 0-2. LaJoie at a 6 foot even. not far from the Cape where he grew up in Massachusetts. 0-2 count. And the pitch to the LSU outfielder in Stanfield. Fastball low and inside. Stanfield came in 5 for 14 here in the playoffs. Has still been that run and RBI leader for Bourne. Been here since June 15th and was excited for last night's game and came here with some vengeance as a leader on this Brave squad. 1-2, he goes fishing. On that curveball low and inside, drop third strike. Weber's throw to first base is in time, and it's out number 1.
Really good movement on that slider for LaJoy. Not having a whole lot of chances to pitch in his spring seasons throughout his collegiate career, but 8 appearances with the North Shore Navigators in the NECBL to start the summer, 24 innings there, and now just making his second appearance this summer with the Mariners.
Gives way to David Lewis, the hottest hitter in this Braves lineup here tonight. 2 hits, has reached base 3 times. First pitch, Lewis clubs it to right field and deep. Back is Maldonado, and he'll make the catch just shy of the warning track in right center field. Lewis had the big fly on the second, a single back in the 8th. Has been a big part of these runs. A few RBIs, a couple of run scores. It's been his night.
It sure has, and there's really been just a ton of big nights to go around between the Bourne pitching staff, the Bourne hitters. Really hasn't been a weak link in this victory that Bourne's trying to claim.
Garrett Michelle, first pitch to the lefty from LaJoy. Ground ball up the middle. Dickinson's there at shortstop on the shift. Throw to first, and it's in time. But the Braves 3 outs away. That's all they need here in game number 2 to send it back to Dorn Park tomorrow night for game number 3. The Bravos will bring out Justin West, and Harwich, they bring their order to the plate. It's going to be the very top of it. They need 6 runs. Bourne needs 3 outs. When you return on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Marty Chevrolet, your dealer for the people, proudly supports the Bourne Braves baseball team. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves. Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer, handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at Portside Liquors, 590A MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story.
I'm Chris Stanfield, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
This does it here from White House Field. It's the bottom of the 9th inning, and Bourne needs 3 outs to send this thing to a Game 3 tomorrow night from Dorn Park. The defending champs have their backs against the wall here from White House Field. But Bourne, 4 runs in their first 4 innings, a 7-1 lead. As Justin West out on the mound looking to close it out. He'll face the top of the Mariners' order, and it starts with the righty and Cam Maldonado. Here's the first pitch, fastball above the letters. Harwich last night wins 7-3. Their first championship appearance since 2019 as the Braves looking to three-peat. And Maldonado swings through the 1-0. This Mariners squad has been so hot. They have won 5 straight, 10 of their last 12. They have not lost a postseason game just yet. And Bourne outs away from sending that to be true for their first loss. As Maldonado out in front on the curveball, it's 1-2.
And now you wonder how Harwich will respond tomorrow, getting punched in the mouth for the first time in over a week. They haven't lost so far in this postseason.
West, 1-2 curveball, swing and a miss. His first punch out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And Bourne, 2 outs away.
There's that curveball, that go-to pitch for Justin West, and what's likely going to be his last appearance this summer, doing what he's been doing all summer long, and that's fooling hitters with that 69-mile-an-hour curve.
Aiden Robbins, next victim, and the curveball at 68 down Main Street. Robbins the righty, Hill the lefty to follow. Top of this order for the Mariners. West from the windup. This curveball skies upstairs. 6 hits for Harwich. They've had the offensive chances. They have left 11 runners on, 1 for 7 with runners on the pond. The Southpaw's 1-1. Robbins skies it deep right center field. Conrad towards the gap. Stanfield calls him off in center and makes the catch. And the Braves fans that have traveled 40 minutes start to clap their hands. They're 1 out away.
And for West, just continuing to execute his pitches, emphasizing getting that outside corner. And now all he needs is 1 more out. It's going to be up to Aiden Hill, the center fielder for Harwich.
Last chance for the Mariners, or a Game 3 tomorrow night from Dorn Park. Lefty on lefty here with 2 down in bottom 9. First pitch, up and inside and past the glove of Meggers. Hill has walked 3 times, struck out as well. Came in 4 for 14 here in the playoffs with 4 runs and 2 RBIs. Went 2 for 4 last night for Harwich in their win. West 1-0 curveball. Outside it misses. Just 3 pitchers for the Braves. Levesque 2 1/3. Hugus the hero with 4 2/3. And West looking to shut it out. 2-0. Fastball. Nowhere better. And the Braves offense, 11 hits on their 7 runs. Got ahead early, and they've stayed ahead. 2-1 pitch, outside corner. It clips off the zone. 3 balls, 1 strike. Wilson Weber on deck on the Harwich side. They need a lot of base runners here in bottom 9. 3-1, line drive down the left field line. It hooks fair and clips all the way towards the corner. Hill rounds first base. He'll be into second standing. And it's a 2-out double. The first hit tonight for Aiden Hill and the 7th for the Mariners.
Harwich not going to go down without a fight. Very similar to what happened in the bottom of the 9th yesterday at Dorn Park with Garrett Michelle lacing a 2-out double the other way. And now it's Wilson Weber, one of the newer guys to this lineup, trying to keep this thing going. It's a steep comeback price right here. You got to get 6 runs with 2 outs, but hey, there's been crazier things that have happened in the game of baseball.
You never know. Weber has reached base twice, 1 hit here tonight for the catcher at Oregon State. First pitch, he swung and didn't really know if he wanted to or not on an upstairs fastball from West. Now Bourne 2 strikes away. Hill with a big swing. Down to their final out, he's off second base. West checks there. 0-1, another swing and a miss. And West 1 strike to send it back to Dorn Park tomorrow night for the Braves, the defending champs, on their road to a three-peat. 0-2, 2 down. The Southpaw kicks and deals. It's up and outside. The Braves lost 7-3 last night. Came in here with some extra motivation. Do not want to say goodbye here in 2024. West leans in, stands tall, checks the runner. And the 1-2 pitch. Line first base side, way out of play.
And like I said, Harwich, a gritty, a pesky team like we said yesterday. Even though bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, still fouling off pitches. The heart of their order in bottom 9.
1-2, 2 down. The Braves looking to send it back to Dorn Park. The curveball down Main Street, strike 3. The road to become a dynasty will not end tonight. Mark your calendars. August 12th, 6 p.m., Dorn Park. Game number 3 of the Cape League Championship Series. Bourne and Harwich. Sudden death coming your way in almost 24 hours.
And what an effort by Bourne tonight. They come out guns a-blazing in that first frame with the Holcomb 2-out single and Meggers with the RBI triple. Right then and there, you knew this was a different Bourne Braves team than we saw just a night ago. Then David Lewis, leadoff home run in the 2nd. That invigorates the dugout, the fan base, and every Bourne member here tonight. And then you just keep that train moving. You score in each of the first 4 innings. The bats go then stagnant until the 8th inning. You get that huge insurance inning, the 3 runs with Becetta's RBI double, Conrad's 2-run single, and the pitching. We could talk about this all night long. Levesque, Hugus, and West getting those crucial 27 outs, limiting Harwich, a team that has scored 4 or more runs in every game this month, to just 1, and it sets up Game 3 tomorrow night.
And it was a lineup that was top to bottom, did their job. Conrad with 2 RBIs. Holcomb scored twice. Lewis scores twice with an RBI. Pacetta picks up an RBI and 2 runs. Top to bottom, everybody did their job. And when we talk about what we saw during batting practice, Nathan, the excitement, the focus was on a different level after last night. And sometimes you have to get punched in the mouth to return and get back to where you want to be, and that's Game 3.
This coaching staff and a lot of these players have been in similar situations before. They knew what they had to do. They knew they were coming into an environment where there was going to be a ton of people. Every grandstand was filled. Every lawn chair was out. There was a ton of people in the outfield. So many people came here for Harwich tonight to see them win their first title since 2011. But Bourne said, we're not going home tonight. We're going to win this game. We're going to go back tomorrow at Dorn Park and see what we can do there. Now, Bourne is the team that is hot. Harwich has to come back, go on the road in a hostile environment tomorrow at Dorn Park to try and take care of business.
And it's so tough when you lose game number 2 and you force a game 3. The team that wins game 2 has that momentum. And the last thing here, how about Griffin Hughes? 4 2/3 innings. What a playoffs it's been for him out of the bullpen in situations where the starter does not give a lot of length.
Over 160 pitches thrown in 6 calendar days for Griffin Hughes. He gets 2 crucial wins. The win in the one-game playoff, the win in a win-or-go-home Game 2 of this championship series matchup. Hughes, his season will come to an end right there, but he was that guy throughout the entire season for Bourne in the bullpen, and what he's able to do even more so is save the bullpen depth for tomorrow. Who knows who's going to be available tomorrow? You're likely going to see a lot of starters tomorrow. All hands on deck to try and get 27 more outs.
And even though Hughes may be done in 2024, the Braves are not. 6 p.m. first pitch tomorrow from Dorn Park. It's game number 3. It's win or go home. It's the final game no matter what in 2024, the Braves and the Mariners. But we'll say our goodbyes here tonight from White House Field, and what a win it was for the Braves, 7-1. Thanks so much for tuning into the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. For our producer in Jeremy Gay, always doing a killer job. For my partner in Nathan Schwartz, I'm Cam Manna saying good night. And if you are on Cape Cod or anywhere near it, be at Dorn Park tomorrow. 6 p.m. first pitch, the Braves and the Mariners. Game number 3, winner takes all.